Hello, everybody. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Okay, we've got audio going. My hat isn't lumpy like it was the last time I tried to wear it. Stream quality looks good. That's all I really care about. Hey, everybody. Someone said Happy New Year. Happy New Year indeed. Happy New February. I wish it was New Year, actually. I would not mind skipping the rest of 2026 as it's been. Hey. Nah, we're so back. We're really so back. Like, we never left. Actually, I did more than I usually do. I did the opposite of leaving. Okay, so if you're new to the stream, I usually just have like 30 minutes of yapping before getting into the topic because I like to let people trickle in. You know, I don't want to start right at 12 or whatever. It's not an appointment, right? Y'all will have to forgive me if I take a little bit longer than 30 minutes to get into today's topic, because if I'm being quite forthcoming with you, I am really tired and frazzled. I handled what happened over the weekend pretty well, but in doing that actually took a lot of like dissociation and I don't know. I'm not here to like bum any of you out. Don't feel sorry for me. Honestly, it's just been really stupid. But yeah, bro, I'm so tired of these people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so over it. Oh my god. Like, I'm still finna do my job regardless. But wouldn't it be nice if no one made it super annoying? That's how I feel. I feel like we all have annoying jobs for sure. I used to have annoying jobs before I ever did YouTube. But isn't it just so much easier to do your job when you're not surrounded by the most annoying people imaginable? Like, Lord. Nah. Reading chat. Someone said I'm lagging. Am I? Oh, I hope I'm not lagging. We only just started. That's not a good sign. Try refreshing. Someone says he's not reading chat. I alternate between reading chat. I almost knocked my keyboard over. I alternate between reading and not reading. I can't read it the whole 4 hours. I'm just going to get overwhelmed for sure. Someone said how everyone's saying there's an audio sync issue. Give me a second. Okay, I don't know if that fixed it, but try refreshing. I hope that works for you. Someone said refreshing made it worse. Okay, well, I don't know what to do about that. Darn, a lot of people are saying it's fine and a lot of people are saying it's not. Sadly, I can't really fix that. Yeah, if it's fine for some people and not fine for others, then there's nothing much I can do on my end. Sorry. I hope it's not too distracting. Maybe it'll resync or something, but I'll examine later to make sure it's not too bad. I saw a question that said, how long do you usually take for your outlines? Honestly, it depends on the topic. And it also depends on like, does anybody remember when I made that video about Gen Z slang? That was a long time ago, but I was talking about what does Riz actually mean? What is skibbity, etc. And how so much of that slang was honestly just borrowed from like AAVE. That didn't take any research at all. I did no research before that stream. I was like, yeah, we're just going to read this Wikipedia article because that's going to be really funny. I guess for things like the things like the Caleb Hammer thing, that didn't take much research at all. I did a dive into, because I kept getting his content recommended. That's the thing, is like, he is really popular. And that is mostly why I was like, what is with this dude? And like the wackest content I've ever seen in my life. I have like this, not the worst content I've ever seen. So that was more so just me trying to get into it and then getting out as soon as possible. The bare minimum it took to make my points, all of which I stand by. Something like this stream, for example, it's tricky to talk about things that have a long history in this format. So for example, we're going to talk about Neil Gaiman, the things that he's been accused of in his current comeback attempt. I don't actually have time or the energy to give you like a point by point breakdown and timeline of every single thing that happened with this, mostly because I want to focus on his response to all of this. It's very well documented at this point, so that's something where I put most of my research in giving an explanation of what happened while being able to direct you to other sources. But the response is so bad, and that's mostly where it is. So yeah, I would say with my thrice weekly content, it's always just a game of like, where do I want to put the research? Because I'm not making deep dives. No, well, I mean, the other thing too, chat, I've already mentioned this, I've been thinking about possibly making a deep dive as well, but like the format is kind of burning me out, or I'm still currently burned out from the format. I'm not burned out from YouTube right now. I have so many more videos to upload. Also, can we please talk about how I basically killed January? I really did kill January in terms of getting everything out on time. I'm happy with those videos. They're not perfect videos by any means, but like, it's some good stuff. I enjoyed the streams. Everything went well. I didn't have any moments, if you will. And I plan to keep going. But when it comes to actual like long, serious background music style intro body conclusion deep dives, I don't know, maybe there is a way of doing them that doesn't feel like making the same video over and over, even though I know that's really funny to say when the content on this channel is all very similar, but that's because I like doing this. But yeah, no, I really want to put something out that I am excited about, and I guess I have to learn how to write that again because I felt like I just kept putting out, like, who remembers my Blueprint Brian video on my other channel about the dude who had like the he was a former Mormon and he turned into this weird tech bro, was into all of these like biohacking things, wasn't necessarily 100% harmful, but was definitely worth talking about, obsessed with the idea of never dying, etc. Things like that definitely pique my interest, and so it's easy enough for me to, I guess, get into it, if you will. I think the problem that I was running into is not many things like that pique my interest, if I'm being honest. Like, even if these things are really popular, Caleb Hammer is a great example where I could deep dive worthy for sure. Somebody please make a 90-minute well-researched video about this guy. But yeah, for me personally, I feel like that research process would just feel like death, and I don't just want to do death, perform it over and over because I think the content will perform well. But yeah, no, that's why we over here on this channel, my third channel, I'm just trying to figure out where the spark is. Reading chat. Someone said Blueprint Brian just live tweeted a heroic dose of shrooms on the timeline. Oh my god. Someone said try being an influencer for today. I know, not me complaining, by the way, not me complaining about like, oh, I don't want to do my job. It's not that I don't want to do my job. I want to do it well. Because I think too, in my opinion, and this is just my experience, I feel like you can always kind of tell when a video was made just to make the video. Or if you can't, I can. I bought so many videos, and sometimes I listen to people's scripts and I'm like, this is a solid video, but you are low-key just hitting like A, B, C, which is fine. But I want that like spark. I want to seem obsessed in my video essays. I think that's why they work for people. I want to seem like I literally can't let go of this and I'm thinking about it for multiple days at a time. That is the secret to good long form content. You have to actually genuinely be obsessed with it. But I was like, I still have a job though. So I'm just gonna do a different version of my job until I figure out how to have fun. Because that's the one thing, chat. You can't, like, actually, I don't want to like lecture, but if you wait for inspiration to hit you while you're trying to be a creative person, it's not going to pan out for you. And so instead of just waiting for inspiration to hit for a long essay, I was like, let's just talk about some other things. It'll still be fun. Someone said Mike's microphone. Mike's mic has great videos. What does he say? Welcome to Mike's mic. My name is Mike. Yeah, like that style of long form, or I don't think his videos are particularly long, if I remember correctly. Deep dive into like movies and stuff. I need to find something that gives me life. It'll be so fun. It'll be so fun. Someone says sees the title. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay, so wait. Reading. Someone said I watched Read with Cindy's video on him. Oh, about Neil Gaiman? Yeah, no, that's kind of icky. So I love Michael's microphone. Good. Excellent. That's fantastic. Someone said, have you talked about Turkey Tom at all? No, I'm not planning on doing that. I hope that's understandable. Not my idea. Someone said you saw Foreign's video. Oh yeah. Who watched that one? Who watched Foreign's video with me in it? That was a great video. I watched the whole thing. 1 hour and 6 minutes. I mean, if you weren't able to, that's fine. It's a long video, but I really enjoyed that final cut. It was great. We talked about Diary of a CEO, and just sort of the normalization of a bunch of harmful stuff there masquerading as self-improvement content. It was fire. I felt so happy that like so much of the stream wound up in that video, because I know a lot of you weren't able to catch it. But yeah, it was fantastic. Reading chat. Someone said, whoa, I've never caught the live stream before. This feels special now. Well, hi, welcome. It is special now that you're here. Someone said, I hope you do more with him. I'm planning on it. It was such a good hang, in my opinion. Yeah. No promises, but I was like, okay, this collab hit. So I saw the live stream. Y'all were quite fun to listen to. Thank you. Yeah. We're trying to make good content. We really are. Someone says tangentially related to Caleb Crab too. Okay. That's the funny part. I really do truly believe me being on Foreign's stream, because that happened before my Caleb live stream. And I think that the things that we were talking about on that stream, we were going kind of hard. I actually feel like because of that, on my Caleb live stream, I was coming in hot. And that's just so funny to think. I don't know, even though honestly my live stream is still really mild, but yeah, it's so connected. It's just been such an interesting week for podcast bros. Someone said Foreign brought me here. Oh, well, hey, welcome. Oh no, do I have to do an introduction? I don't know how to introduce myself. Hi, I make content that gets commonly labeled as drama commentary, slop, I think I see, video essays, but you're not gonna find any video essays on this channel. I'll tell you that right now. We ain't doing effort. This is literally just me talking, trying to Jenna Marbles my way through YouTube in 2026. Someone said, do you miss your hair at all? Right now, yes, because we're in a winter storm. Right now, I absolutely miss the heck out of my hair. But it's kind of like when you romanticize a slightly toxic relationship. Because you're like, oh, wait, I really miss this person. Think of all the good times. And your brain is like ignoring, bro, that they weren't good for you. They were bringing out the worst in you. What are you talking about? That's where I am at with my hair right now. I'm like fantasizing and I'm like, oh my God, locks, like long flowing hair. And then I remember, wait, I don't want any of that maintenance just because I'm temporarily cold. So no, rationally, I don't miss my hair, but emotionally, I'm cold. Someone said I wish I could be bald right now. Try it out in the summer, man. Try it out in the summer. Someone said one does not realize just how much insulation hair can be. Yes, I'm so much colder than I am, or than I was when I had a lot of hair in my head. I didn't realize because I had hair for years at that point. It makes, for me personally, such a huge difference. Such a huge difference. Someone said, am I early once more? You are. We haven't even started. We haven't even started the topic. Someone said you could play with wigs. Oh, I totally could. Do you have any pets? No, we've talked before though. Whereas I love other people's dogs, a cat could be a better option for me. Someone who doesn't have as much energy as dogs require, but still has some love to give. Excuse me. Reading chat. Someone said, what happened with Caleb and you? Oh, you can go watch my last 2 videos. I summed it up pretty well. It's all in there. Oh, nah. Someone said, will you wear wigs? Are you referring to that interview with, is that Elijah Wood? Because that's actually one of the funniest pieces of media that is currently available online. Who here has seen the will you wear wigs interview? I think it's Elijah Wood. I could be wrong about that. Hold on. I'm trying to boot my computer up, but it's not cooperating. It's not cooperating. Okay, wait. I'm gonna find it. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, I found it. Here, let me show you. This is so funny. Just Google like will you wear wigs? And it's this interview of Elijah Wood being interviewed. This interview of him being interviewed. And it just devolves into this conversation about wigs for some reason. It does not sound funny when I say it. It does not sound funny when I say it. I'm promising you it's 10 times funnier than I'm making it sound. Oh my gosh. Someone said 666K. Is that where I'm at, chat? I don't check my sub count because that's not where I'm at. But I see it sometimes. Like if I go to share a post, YouTube will jump scare you with your own subscriber count. Do I have demon numbers right now? Oh, that's scary. Not the 666K. That's really funny. Someone said it's a prank interview. Yes, it's not a real interview, chat. It's not a real interview. Oh my gosh, we're on demon time. Oh, they finna hate this one. They finna hate this one. Let's go. 666K. That's exciting. That makes me feel, look at me. We're evolving for sure. For sure. That's great. That's great. That is exciting. Nah, basically someone just tell me where I'm at 1 million. Actually, someone tell me when I'm at 750K. Because I feel like that's a decent milestone. And then I'll get really excited. But until then, it is what it is. We trying. Reading chat. I'm crocheting Frodo's sword right now. Nice. That is fire. Okay. Woo. No, I was about to hop immediately into the topic, but I'm just not there, man. I'm just not there. I'm trying to think about, you know what sucks too is like the mistake I made last year, no, 2024, was I just never took a day off because I thought that was a personality trait. But now the benefit of taking days off is that I have other things to talk to y'all about. But I had to cram in my treadmill run between the end of my stream on Saturday, me getting the lawsuit threats, me putting out the video early, and then yesterday me putting out my response to that, and then still having to prepare an outline for today as well. I was like, where am I gonna run? So unfortunately, I only managed a 2.5 mile run. But you know what? That was like, it only took 20 minutes, if I remember correctly. So that was an 8-minute mile pace for 2.5 miles, which isn't great. But I was like, you know what? We did something. We did something for real. I felt so neurotypical. I was like, this is neurotypical behavior. This is what it feels like to be like, oh, mentally, I feel a little strange. I'm going to go for a run to, I don't know what my thinking was, but it was great. But yeah, 20 minutes is not a lot of, not a lot of downtime, but I'm glad I did it. Definitely better than sitting inside and suffering. Reading chat. Someone said just 2.5. What do you mean just 2.5? Well, I have to be careful how I talk about running because like, you don't want to make people feel like they're not doing a lot. I think running lends itself to brain rot really, really quickly. So in my brain rot mind, 2.5 miles is not that far. And 8-minute mile is kind of mid, honestly. But It's also kind of far though, and somewhat decent speed, which I have to remind myself. I don't know. There's just like somebody could do that in the blink of an eye, honestly. People could go for 8 miles. I do 8-mile runs. No, I do. I haven't been on an 8-mile run in so long that I almost forgot that I do. It's just been so cold. It's been so cold. Someone says self-care win. Proud of you, babes. Why, thank you. Yeah, no, like, I've talked about this before. People are slightly right. Slightly right. When they say, oh, you depressed? Oh, you have anxiety? Just go outside. No, that's not finna fix all your problems. However, it helps a little, which I try to remind myself. Someone said not me with a 9.5-minute mile, but that's good though. Listen, I'm not even like doing this thing where I'm like, oh, everyone's beautiful, even though everyone is beautiful. Under 10 minutes is pretty fast compared to like what I feel like the average person could do. I don't really think many people can even run a mile. So you should be really proud of a 9.5-minute mile. I'm being for real. Reading chat. Nature is genuinely so calming. Yes, I can't wait to get back outside. That's the main thing I want to do. And show y'all some pictures of my running trail. It's pretty. Someone said the phones. They were unfortunately right about the phones. It pisses me off that everyone's like, it's that damn phone. It's the phone. That's why you feel bad. Because of your phone. And like, that's not the only reason. However, the more I reel back from the phone, the happier I do get, typically. It's not the phone itself, right? A phone is just a tool. It's more so just like a phone's enabling of you to doom scroll, reinforce any of your worst fears in an instant, surround yourself with negativity, like fall into echo chambers that lead. It's like, that's the problem. Me having a phone doesn't matter, but what am I doing on that phone? And that is why I've been trying to just play Scrabble. I'm also doing, other things, like trying to educate myself about the things that are happening. But a lot of the time when I pull out my phone, I'll just either try to play a game of Scrabble against the computer or like look up Scrabble words. And that one little life hack, I don't suggest Scrabble because Scrabble is a really bizarrely, like, I don't think Scrabble has many real world applications. So I am, for me, still wasting my time, but it's a lot less depressing. It's a lot less depressing. Actually, I've become known as like the Scrabble guy. I know that this might sound like I'm memeing or something. Hold on. Let me show you something that I got for Christmas. I was given for Christmas by people who know me. I'll BRB. This is funny. I haven't even worn these yet. Because I don't know what the right occasion was. But they're like, people in my life give me Scrabble socks now, is how much I've been talking about Scrabble or asking people to play Scrabble with me or just seeing doing Scrabble related things. And I haven't even worn these yet because I'm like, this is powerful. Y'all think that y'all just gave me a gift. This is an artifact. I'm not going to wear this until a serious game arises, but I can't play on a competitive level. It's just really funny. Okay. Can I talk about something that I don't want to talk about? As oxymoronic as that is. It's not that I don't want to talk about it, and maybe I would under some context, but is it just me? I say, knowing full well it's not going to be just me. Or have awards shows not been hitting? Man, for me, this is just me. Like, I think if I remember correctly, It might have been the Golden Globe. The Grammys just happened like immediately, if I remember. And then before that, it was like the Golden Globes. And I've made a lot of content involving award shows in the past, talking about the VMAs, what people are wearing to the Grammys in various years. But I feel like the last 2, 3, or 4 award shows that I've been seeing, I've just been like, you know, like, no, I don't really care. Manufactured drama, you know, people richer than God. I'm like, I understand it, the appeal. I'm not saying I have not consumed any Grammys content. I'm just more so just like, man, it don't hit. Someone said the illusion is gone. I do feel like the illusion is gone. It's more so like, for me personally, the suspension of disbelief, because before they're obviously a distraction, and before it was easy to be distracted by them, but now I look at what's going on and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm also not one of those people who is like, you can never have fun in a horrible world. I'm just like struggling to find the fun. Some said I did used to like them when I was younger. I did too. I was super into them. Someone said class consciousness. I sure hope it does. I need to learn so much more about theory and stuff so I can be less stupid. Reading chat. Someone said we don't really care for the celebs as much anymore. Well, I feel like the celebs are they're not good at, like, how to word this. A lot of celebs are just saying and doing things right now that are not gonna make them look good. That's the best way I can put it. I don't want to bring up specific examples because then it's just me jagging people, but I've been seeing a lot of celeb statements and I'm like, oh, you truly are out of touch, which is understandable, but like, oh buddy, oh pal, this is a no. Someone says stupid people don't have 666,000 subs. Yes, they do. I think if we learned anything over the past weekend, stupid people can have almost 3 million subs. But I've got my smarts in some ways, but let me tell you right now, me having a platform does not have much to do with my intelligence. I am constantly worried that I'm actually just an idiot. Spewing idiot takes is why I try to remind myself frequently, like, brother, you're posting internet videos. You don't know anything. It helps a lot. It saves me from sounding insufferable or being like, oh, well, I must have followers for a reason. I have followers because I make good content, but I shouldn't let it go to my head. I did see someone mention Jelly Roll. I said I wasn't going to mention a celebrity. Sorry, I lied, y'all. I'm finna drag. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to mention a celebrity. Where was it? Well, chat, what did he say exactly? Wow. Okay, there's a lot of... it says he feels disconnected from politics. Is that what he said? Okay, wait. Yeah. I saw this and I'm like, man, y'all need some help. Okay, here we go. Jelly Roll. So for those of you who don't know, why am I treating this like it's an actual video? Jelly Roll is a dude, rapper, singer. I don't know what he makes exactly. I thought he made country music. Oh, it says he transitioned from rap to country music, according to Wikipedia. I don't listen to Jelly Roll. That's what I'm getting at. This isn't coming from me being a stan or a hater. I don't really listen. But Jelly Roll says he's, quote, disconnected from politics, but will be ready to speak out, quote, soon. Everybody's going to hear exactly what I have to say about it in the most loud and clear way I've ever spoken in my life, he told reporters after his Grammy win. And I'm like, look, I obviously have just pulled a headline and I'm responding to the headline. He may have gone into more detail, but I'm like, brother, you feel disconnected from politics and you'll talk about it when you're ready. Must be nice. Must be nice. Really must be nice. Like, again, he might have given a more in-depth statement. This may have been sensationalized. I just feel like before there used to be PR people who would save you from sounding like this. There used to be people who would be like, oh, don't say that in those exact words, or people finna be mad. No. Reading chat. Someone said read the room, bro. It's very much read the room energy. It's very much read the room energy. Oh, here it is. Okay. Look, they have more detail here in this Rolling Stone article. So this was apparently during his speech, and he said, I think, yeah, during his own acceptance speech, I believe that music had the power to change my life and God had the power to change my life. Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is Jesus. Anybody can have a relationship with him. It says, but in response to the question in the press room, he said, people shouldn't, quote, care to hear my opinion before making self-deprecating crack. You know, I'm a dumb redneck. I haven't watched enough. I hate to be the artist aesthetic aloof, but I've become so disconnected from what's happening. And I'm like, let me just finish. I grew up in a house in insane pandemonium. I didn't even know politics were real until I was in my mid-20s in jail. When you grow up in a drug addict household, do you think we have common cause about what's happening in world politics? We're just trying to find a way to survive, you know? But he has a lot to say and plans to say it in the next week. And I'm like, okay. I relate to a fraction of this. Having grown up in Texas, I know what he means. There was a point where if you asked my opinion on politics, trust, you wouldn't want it. It was so bad. It was so uninformed. I was an idiot. All I'm saying is there seems to be so little excuse for this sort of attitude because, and correct me if this sounds like too much of a reach, I feel like you actively have to try not to be informed at this point. You have to try not to be informed. When I was uninformed, like years ago, and there's still things that I'm uninformed about, I don't know everything. I wasn't like trying to avoid everything. I just never looked into things. And so things were never really brought to my attention. I feel like nowadays, how would you possibly feel disconnected from everything unless you are going to every single thing that pops up when even like many of your fellow celebrities are speaking out? So I think that's why that statement was absolutely not hitting with people, because they're like, well, it sure does take a lot of privilege to even be able to just be like, nah, this has nothing to do with me, because I don't want to be an aloof artist, but I feel disconnected. It's wild. It's wild. Some say it's a privilege to be uninformed. Exactly. But there's such a difference between being like, I have, you know, for my own mental health, wasn't actively following minute by minute updates, but you should know what's happening broadly in your country, I feel, for sure. But nah, it's okay. It's okay. Someone said, would you ever do a gaming channel? Would I ever do a gaming channel? Probably not. Mostly just because I feel like I hit peak channels at this point. I feel like I hit peak channels. I have so many channels, and I feel like me gaming would just be like, now, brother, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing at this point? I'm reading chat. Yeah, so many people are saying this is not hitting. And here's the thing too. I have two opinions about any sort of PR related snafu that happens. I always have the opinion of just my general human opinion, which is that like you should care. And if you approach things from an I care standpoint, you're probably not going to piss people off, right? But I also have like PR glasses on, because I think about PR a lot. I won't say it's one of my special interests because I don't really know too much about it, but I love reading a statement. In fact, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about with Neil Gaiman. I think about this from a PR perspective, and I'm like, what happened to PR? What happened to PR? I am not advocating for a celebrity's like silence on things. That's not really where I'm at. I'm more so just like, These people are supposed to help you. They're supposed to save you from getting countless people on the internet being like, oh, I hated that, even despite your best intentions. PR needs to come back. I know that we love ourselves some like outspoken. It's not the outspokenness that I want to disappear. I just need y'all to workshop some of this because people on the internet are wild. Someone said that's what I do. If you are a PR person, thank you. So I think about PR a lot because I work in PR, and half the time I'm like, what are we doing? Where's the guidance? Yeah. No, I'm very much like, I see a lot of people saying we're in a post PR era. Celebrities should just be themselves. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't, because you are not an average person. The average person doesn't have a microphone in front of them having their thoughts broadcast to thousands of people. You should think a little bit more. But that's just my silly opinion. All right, reading chat. Some of these streams have improved my productivity. I'm glad. That makes me happy. These streams, I guess, technically are my productivity. So I've been quite productive as well. Not caring about politics is like going into the leopard cage and hang out. Yeah, no. Leopards ate my face. Energy for sure. Care. I don't know. What can I say? What can I really say? All right. Anyways, I might just take 10 more minutes. Chat, can I be really open and honest? Please, I hope this doesn't come across as whinging or whining, but like, I really just considered sleeping in today. I was like, man. Or I think what happens is I have a tendency to catastrophize. And so when bad things do happen or things that are unpleasant, I start jumping forward into this depressive mindset that eventually arrives me at what is the point of any of this? And I'm just like, that's not real. There's so much point to all of this. I enjoy what I do. But yeah, no, I woke up today and I was like, it was hard. This was not an easy going to work day, even though I have an easy job. That's not what I'm complaining about. I'm just like, I handle things better than I did when I was younger, for sure. But, I strongly wish for the time where I can be completely unbothered about things, 100% unbothered. I think maybe I was like 80% unbothered about being called a slur like 40 times. And then hated on by a bunch of people. But 20% of that bother, I was still just like bothered. And then it just makes me sleepy. I just get tired. And I'm like, no, you can't be sleepy and tired. You have always had to work under these conditions. But yeah, no, it's absolute mess, dude. Absolute mess. Reading chat. Someone said this is a hard topic. I can imagine not wanting to do this. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the topic a little bit before we get into it. So as for this, let's talk about some things that I really don't like when it comes to people who have allegations against them. And this is kind of the main point of my video. I'm not doing a deep dive into everything that was said about Neil Gaiman or anything like that. That content exists and it's good. I just really, really, really hate this idea that every time somebody comes out against a famous person, you get this massive machine of like, let's start picking them apart. Let's start contrasting stories. You get this with I didn't mention this. I didn't mention this online while it was happening intentionally because I knew that would not be engendering productive conversation. But Depp versus Heard stuff. This is not a debate. What I'm saying is this idea that I just saw so many people being like, yes, Amber Heard, we are absolutely going to like pick you apart. We're going to like blow you up into a concept and rearrange you into something. So many people argue about like mutual abuse, this, that, the other. And I'm like, that beyond all of that, I think that desire to be like, well, I like Johnny Depp, so I am going to make this person look insane. We're all going to make video after video laughing about her. She's talking about bees and we're going to turn that into a meme. She's talking about her dog. This is going to be funny. It was so one-sided. It was so one-sided. And that energy, I feel, is just so harmful and nasty. Someone said Darvo for real. Yeah, no, that energy really has got to die out. It doesn't matter who did what. You should never, in my opinion, be seeing somebody coming forward about something, and then your first response is like, okay, let's just make this person look like the dumbest person alive with facts and logic. It's nasty, and I don't know. It's not it. It is not it. I think too, it really does suck that even I have a limit. Someone said it was mask off for the woman haters. It really was. It really was. Even I have a limit though for talking about things. My limit, I feel like, is much higher than even it used to be or than most people. But while that was happening, I was just like, I don't even think I'm going to be helping. I mean, I don't know if this makes sense, but like, it wasn't just like, I don't want to speak out because I see all this misogyny happening. It was like every single person who was saying, hey, there's misogyny is a really big part of this machine right now. It just turned into Battlefield in the comments, like Modern Warfare 3 lobby. It was so bad that I was like, I don't know. I didn't know what to say. I literally did not know what to say or how to talk about it. I was very much in over my head with all of that. But yeah, that's always me. I'm just like, why are we always trying to drag people and pick them apart and make them look awful? Someone's a perfect victim. That too. It's nasty. I think the thing is too, you have to have, in my opinion, a little intersectionality goes a long way. And what I mean by that is these like perfect victim narratives or whatever, it's not just like women per se. It's anybody who is deemed to be unfit for whatever reason, marginalized. Anyway, we always have to be perfect all the time. You see somebody be a victim of violence and somebody's going to be like, well, that victim was also a criminal. And these are things that I'm looking out for. So when I'm seeing these same things happen and we're like, well, she looked funny in court, so this is stupid. I was just like, oh man, it's not good. It's not good. Reading chat. Okay, I'm glad that you all see what I'm saying. Thank you. Yeah, no, one thing I really don't rock with is when discussions just turn into pure emotion. And like, emotion's important, obviously, but Taylor Swift is a great example. I could say Taylor Swift, and even though I might be coming into this not even saying anything strong, probably 95% of the people in your audience just had a thought, either very much in her positive or very much against her. And I'm just like, that's hard to make content, because it's hard to make content for that sort of our topics that are like that, because then it really becomes a question of like, who am I talking to and what am I trying to say? A lot of people are gonna be like, he's saying he's copping out. No, I get really, really lost when it comes to, honestly, issues that are so polarizing and so divisive. I'm like, I don't want a bunch of people arguing about this, because it's not why I make content. It's really not it. Someone says great to use logic. It's great to use logic, but it's also great to use your emotions too. I really believe that we should have, here's what I mean by this, chat. I believe that we should have emotional responses and we should act on them and we should go off of vibes. But a lot of people 100% base all of their logic when it comes to defending people on the internet off of their emotion about this person. And that's actually what this Neil Gaiman stream is going to be about, where like you go into this wanting something to be true. You want it to be true. I'm going to make up a celebrity. You want it to be true that Johnny Johnster is, well, I say make up a celebrity and I say Johnny when I'm talking about Amber Heard. You get my point. You want things to be true. And so everything is about sort of suggesting or supporting this narrative, etc. And I'm like, you can get a bag by appealing to those people. Unfortunately, that's what happened with Johnny Depp. A lot of people realized, oh, a lot of people have made up their mind about Johnny Depp, and we can just talk to those people and say what they want to hear, etc. And then you get all this like support type stuff, and I'm just like, that's a much different way of going about content. This is a much different approach to me just trying to share my actual opinion versus like, let me navigate this fan base. It's almost a confirmation bias. Yes, exactly. Anytime I start explaining something, there is literally always a term that explains it 50 times better because I am not super smart. I'm not super smart. I'm reading chat. Someone said if one does not accept your emotions are part of logic, then you will fail to be logical. You need emotional intelligence to be logical. I agree with that. I really, really dislike this idea that like facts over feelings or whatever. That's not it. Someone said there were a lot of times where I'm like, man, I don't want that to be true, but you have to be ready to hear the whole thing and prepare it might be. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. It is a completely human response to be like, no. That's actually how I felt about Neil Gaiman, like multiple people who have had things come out. Unfortunately, like Cody Ko, when that happened, I had a really strong emotional response of no. But the thing is, like, you have to be comfortable enough with that response to sit with it and let it inform your next steps appropriately. You can't just go off of no the whole time. That's how you wind up being a defender of people who don't need your defense, essentially. And I see that so often. I see it so often. Or I'm just like, oh, y'all are stuck on this stage where you can't accept that anything painful has happened. It's just so bad. Anyways, it's been an hour. I'm going to pull up my outline. Actually, I never even pulled up my second monitor. What did I think I was going to do? How did I think this was going to work for me? Hold on, let me do that. Reading chat. Yeah, someone said we are whole humans and wailing off our feelings is not a valid response. Or wait, did I read that right? Yeah, basically feel all your feelings and then think all your thoughts, but you gotta separate them. That's the thing too, is like, I know, or I would hope personally, that in my streams or in my content, I seem to be going off of chill vibes and not like purely emotional. But a lot of that is really because I have thoughts first. My thoughts that I have are not always, what you're going to get in the final version of my stuff. I can't not go into things with a bias. I go into everything biased. Sometimes my bias is correct. Sometimes I was right. I had a gut feeling and I was like, no, I was correct about that. But then sometimes I'm looking into things and I'm like, oh, that's just not what I thought it was. I was wrong. But I do think a lot of people think they're going to die if they admit that they're wrong over something. And I'm like, it's so freeing. That's the number one thing that helps me in my content. It's so freeing to be like, oh no, I was wrong about that. I had that incorrect. And this is not embarrassing. Being wrong is fine. I didn't mean to be wrong and now I can be right. But yeah, no, I don't know why people think they're gonna roll up like the Wicked Witch of, was it the West, the East? When Dorothy lands that house on her, this is what I think a lot of people think they're gonna do if they admit that they were wrong about something. Disappear, melt. And I'm like, you could just be wrong and then change your opinion. You won't die. You won't die, brother. Some say people needed to learn how to take the L. For real. For real. All right. Someone said if you make money off your art and are a terrible human being in real life from not supporting, to each their own. That is a valid way of doing it. That's kind of what I do personally while people are still alive. All right. I'm hitting record now. All right, we're recording. I wanted to talk about Neil Gaiman today because actually this was just yesterday. From when I'm recording this, he put out a statement regarding some allegations that he had been hit with over the last couple of years. And it's terrible. It's actually quite unhinged and seems to reinforce what is my biggest pet peeve when people talk about allegations or try to disprove them or this, that, the other. So if you don't know who Neil Gaiman is, if you don't know what he was accused of, this is not a deep dive. I'll just give you a recap of what's going on before we get into the statement. All right. Who here got really sad? Forget the outline for a second. It's you, obviously, most of your opinions, or in my opinion, like most of your energy, you should support the victims. Obviously, the main victim of any sort of abuse or whatever is the one who is suffering. But it is also, you're entitled to your feelings. Who just got really sad on a personal level? That was me. I was like, oh wow, I'm not the victim here, but separately, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. This is how I felt when this information was coming out. I say, you can see people in chat right here. Everyone's saying this news was quite devastating. No. It was not cool. Anyways. So Neil Gaiman is a writer, English writer. He's been kicking for a while, currently 65. I would say my entry point into the Gaiman verse was Coraline, the film. Amazing film based off of his writing, right? He just has so much cultural relevance, honestly, and has for a long time. Good Omens, man. This literally has some of the most devoted fans I have ever seen on the internet. This was co-written with the late Terry Pratchett, right? That again was Neil Gaiman's writing. And then also, I don't know. I remember The Sandman as well. I never watched this, so I can't actually speak to that. But I was familiar with Neil Gaiman for sure. Many people were. People loved his, not just his work, but a lot of the themes in there as well. But unfortunately, none of that really has anything to do with in 2024. At least 2 women came forward with allegations against him. Now, this is a part where it's going to start getting really rapid fire with the dates, but I've done my best to follow a through line through this because some of this is obfuscation and trying to make this scenario seem complicated, but it actually seems relatively straightforward. In 2024, according to this Rolling Stone article, 2 women came forward, as was alleged, on a podcast with allegations against him of sexual abuse, saying it was rough and degrading, and saying that it was, quote, not always consensual, right? One of these people worked as a nanny for him. And so besides that, and what I think is important to note is that this person filed a complaint in 2022. So that doesn't prove or disprove anything. My point is, like, I really want y'all to know this wasn't spun up out of thin air. For years, there have been complaints. It's not just one person, okay? That is the main thing that really struck me about all of this. Then, the next year, in 2025, more women accuse author Neil Gaiman of sexual assault. So here I believe it said 8 of Gaiman's accusers spoke for a story that was released in New York Magazine, and you have it right here. I'm not going to go do a reread of the article because the things in here, sorry, I've archived it. I've archived it. Someone in chat right now says the details were genuinely harrowing. No, they absolutely were. Here's as much as I'm kind of willing to really get into in this video. It says right here, that Neil Gaiman's son with, his estranged wife was away on a play date. And so one of his accusers, this nanny, it says Gaiman offered her the chance to take a bath in a tub in the garden. She did, and was surprised when Gaiman came back naked and allegedly got into the tub with her and asked her to sit on his lap. And then from there, it just goes into further and further detail about how she it's just awful. She just then claims he was acting non-consensually, assaulting her in this tub. This is just one incident that she describes. It is all so creepy and disturbing, right? And again, these are multiple people coming forward about this. So obviously, dare I say, and that also, I want to point out, that's not the only allegation that she made. There was also claims of trafficking against Neil Gaiman's estranged wife, but Gaiman obviously broke the silence after this article was going viral, because this is how, oh wait, that's the wrong one. This is how I found out about it. It was this Vulture article. I remember everyone talking about this, mostly because the things in it were just so disgusting. It was shocking. And so at the beginning of 2025, January 14th, Neil Gaiman releases his statement breaking the silence. And he doesn't really say much, but he says, I've watched the stories circulating the internet about me with horror and dismay. I've stayed quiet until now, both out of respect for the people who were sharing their stories and out of a desire not to draw more attention to misinformation. I've always tried to be a private person. So this statement essentially is him saying some of what the women said is true. However, none of the parts where they said things were non-consensual are true. All of that was false. He says, I've never engaged in a non-consensual sexual activity with anyone. He's also claiming that there's messages that he received saying essentially that things were consensual, etc. He says, I was obviously careless with people's hearts and feelings. I was caught up in my own story and ignored other people, but he's learning. He's trying to do the work needed, etc. And then he just kind of ends it by saying, to repeat, I have never engaged in non-consensual sexual activity with anybody. Some things that they're saying never happened. Others have been so distorted, etc. I'm prepared to take responsibility for my actual mistakes. Okay. So there's that statement. Hold on, let me pause for a second. Reading chat. Some say I've avoided accountability for your own good. No, honestly, this phrasing of I didn't say anything out of respect for the people who were sharing their stories, I call foul on this part for sure, because as you're going to see, there was very, very, very little of that, unfortunately. So the next thing I want to point out is, as for the claims that his estranged wife was trafficking people, or one of the women claimed that she was trafficked into Neil's clutches, essentially. She didn't have much to say about that, other than she claimed privacy as well. I must protect my young child and his right to privacy. I will not respond to the specific allegations being made against me, except to say that I deny the allegations and will respond in due course. My heart goes out to all survivors. So you get he said versus she said being multiple women. Obviously, like, it's deeply unbalanced, and you're going to see how that plays out. Someone said, what is it about fame, fortune, power that makes people degenerates? I believe that's a good, I can't answer that question, but I think about it a lot. So after this, I want to say, I have a timeline of this because I want to make sure that I get this right before we get into things. One of the accusers sues him. NPR, February 2025, Neil Gaiman's former nanny files rape and human trafficking lawsuit, right? At this point, Neil Gaiman's reputation was just in complete shambles. Obviously, I wouldn't imagine wanting to associate with this. However, again, he was still denying everything. Hold on. But the lawsuit in question is really, really, really disturbing. Again, I can't go through all of this on stream. I don't want to, but it's like the claim arises out of Neil Gaiman's sexual abuse of the plaintiff and his wife's role in procuring and presenting the plaintiff to Gaiman for such abuse. They give a trigger warning right here for sexual assault and abuse. And yeah, it's just awful stuff. Neil Gaiman. This is the part where I was like, okay, really? Neil Gaiman seeks $500,000 from one of his accusers, and I'm like, this is your response. Is actually the rich person in this scenario, am going to sue you. So what he's alleging here is essentially he paid her $275,000 to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And I'm like, why did you pay somebody $275,000 to sign an NDA? But in violating that, Gaiman is demanding all of that money back because this person went to the media, and he said he also wants his attorney's fees covered and $50,000 for each interview she's given to the media. What kind of look is that, honestly? Obviously, when things are allegations, all I can do is talk about them and say this is what one person said and this is what another person said, and make sure I'm not trying to make you disbelieve people who are survivors of things. But what kind of response is this? This is disgusting. Someone said NDAs don't cover crimes. Exactly. There is absolutely no agreement that somebody could make you sign, pay you to sign, that takes away your ability to come forward if a crime was committed. So again, nobody was rocking with this at all. This is just ridiculous behavior. And then also, I see a lot of people, because I was trying to do research, y'all. I really was. And a lot of people were being like, well, she sued him first, right? This is what people are really saying. Initially, she had accused him of breaching his end of the NDA because she said that his lawyer held on to videos, photos, and text messages that she had sent him, and the NDA said that Gaiman would destroy those materials. She's saying that did not happen, essentially. I'm like, that's not proving anything. That is actually making things look a bit worse, in my opinion. But yeah, no, to make someone sign an NDA, I'm just going off of what this person said. To make someone sign an NDA and saying you're going to delete all of these things, keep all of these things, and then try to use them against her later when she's committing that a crime has been alleged is really disturbing. Someone said paying to sign a contract, doesn't that feel great? Yeah, no. Someone said this is a power play. Exactly. Yeah, NDAs in general truly give me the ick. They truly give me the ick. Anyways, what's happened now is that one of the lawsuits, and pretty much the main one that people were talking about, and this is a different person. This lawsuit was dismissed against Neil Gaiman because the judge said this occurred in New Zealand, not Wisconsin, where the suit was brought forward. And, you know, everybody was a New Zealand resident at that time. You should go try it in New Zealand, etc. However, again, it was the same thing where you saw people online being like, there you have it. The case was dismissed. It wasn't dismissed with prejudice. This is a part where I'm not a lawyer, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. The fact that it was dismissed without prejudice means she could just reopen this if this doesn't work for her in New Zealand. I really tried to look into that to make sure I was correct about this. This isn't some sort of win, or this says absolutely nothing about her the validity of the claims in this, right? Hold on. Control F. Reopen. It says right here, if the person in question sues Gaiman in New Zealand and he refuses to accept service there, she may move to reopen the case. So again, this is not a gotcha. I don't know why people play the gotcha games when it comes to this, always trying to find some sort of proof that, oh, she must be lying. And it says in the original coverage of this as well. 1 second, please. In the original coverage of this as well, it's noted that the judge did not rule on the facts of the case. So don't let anybody tell you that this has been arbitrated in any sort of way, dismissed, etc. That's not true. That's not what happened. It's just not objectively. Anyways, obviously the backlash against him, as I said, was swift. So you have, like, for example, this Vulture article, all of Neil Gaiman's halted or canceled projects, The Sandman, unfortunately, Coraline, comics, Good Omens season 3, Dead Boy Detectives, etc. Now, not all of this had to do with the allegations per se, but a lot of things just stopped moving forward because of this. And so here's the part where I'm going to speculate. I think I've mostly been talking about dates up until this point, but my guess is someone said they didn't read anything but the title. Oh, they absolutely didn't. If you read the title and it says case dismissed, actually, let's talk about that. I would like to say that this is an example of the internet in action. If you read the title and it's just like judge dismisses sexual assault lawsuit against Neil Gaiman, it absolutely sucks that all somebody has to do is take that. It kind of almost does sound like it was just thrown out because it was ridiculous or false or this, that, the other. Again, that's why you really, really got to look at who is saying what. This is also why I don't typically cover things that are legal, because unfortunately I get confused easily. I know that sounds really stupid, but yeah, I saw this and I was like, oh, it got dismissed. But then when I read it, I was like, oh no, they just said you should try this over there. And if that doesn't work, you are free to reopen this as per the actual filing to dismiss. So no, there's nothing here saying that he didn't do this. And sorry, I don't want to get like worked up over this. It's just frustrating misinformation, which I'm trying not to spread. So as I was saying, you're seeing all these things either get canceled or not moving forward with this. But the main thing that is really interesting is the vast majority of, someone said Dead Boy Detectives is canceled. I don't want to, wait, hold on. I don't want to spread that misinformation if that's not true. Is it? I don't want to spread misinformation. It was mentioned in that Variety article towards the end. Hold on. I'll pull you a source right now to make sure that we are on the same page. Okay, so in this, or not Variety, in this Vulture article, it says it was canceled on August 30th. Did you not know? Uh-oh. Chad, is this how you found out Dead Boy did you like this show? I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry if that's the case. Yeah, no. This show is donezo, according to Variety. Or Vulture. I keep getting them confused because they both start with V. People are saying it's canceled. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm sorry, chat. Minor additional sadness in this story that is quite disturbing and depressing. Anyways, yeah, no, I was right about that one. But what I wanted to point out though, I see this scenario play out again and again where somebody gets accused of things, and what usually happens is that person's fans will stick behind them like they're backing up, their president or something like that. It is absolutely ridiculous how vocal I have seen so many fan bases get and their defense of people who are accused of committing the most heinous things, or sometimes absolutely have committed the most heinous things on video, etc. But Neil Gaiman actually pretty much lost the vast majority of his fan base. From what I saw, I remember it happening in real time. I was in the fan base of some of the things he created. I definitely was in no rush to defend him. Many, many, many people were just like, well, I'm pretty much over this. And that's because his image seemed to be so against this. Here he is in 2018. This is literally just one example of the many, many, many things that made it seem like Neil Gaiman would never be in this scenario. Tweeting, on a day like today, it's worth saying, I believe survivors. Men must not close our eyes and minds to what happens to women in this world. We must fight alongside them for them to be believed at the ballot box and with art by listening and change this world for the better. There was a lot of this, chat, quite a bit of this, which is why I think in addition to this just being horrible news, people felt it came completely out of left field. Reading chat. Someone said wasn't Gaiman a Tumblr celebrity. That's the part I can't speak to too much because I wasn't on Tumblr like that. But he did have a lot of, he had a really dedicated fan base of people who felt like they really rocked with the morals and themes that he was putting out and stuff like that. But This doesn't fly, obviously. Someone said it's always these types of dudes. Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so all this to say, because that was kind of, there's a lot going on, as you can see, but it was, for a recap, initial allegations come out 2024, 2 different people, then at least 8 people are accusing him of this in 2025 through various channels. He denies that any of this has happened. His wife denies the trafficking allegations, and then a lawsuit is filed against him, one of multiple lawsuits filed against him. He countersues for $500,000. The main lawsuit gets thrown or dismissed, but because had been filed, the judge felt in the wrong place, does not say anything about the facts of what has actually happened. Does that sound? I think that's an accurate. That's my read on the scenario. If anybody has additional things that I'm missing, now's the time to let me know before I move into this next place, because I really wanted to make sure I said that right. As you can see, it's like, it's very back and forth. It's so convoluted, but you can't get distracted, I feel like, is the main thing in wanting to believe or disbelieve one thing or the other. Reading chat. Okay, people are saying, yeah, that's my read on the facts. I may have definitely missed a date or two in my attempt to piece this all back together, but that's essentially what happened. Now, imagine how tired I was yesterday seeing Neil Gaiman all over the news for author Neil Gaiman calls allegations a smear campaign. So you have all of these articles. He is loud right now. Enemy, The Guardian, Rolling Stone. This is big news of his statement where he says, you know, this was all garbage. Well, hey, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Let's see what he actually had to say. All right. I'm actually signed into Instagram, so perhaps I will be able to read this. It's been a while since I've posted anything anywhere, but I didn't want to let any more time go by without thanking everyone for all your kind messages of support, etc. I've learned firsthand how effective a smear campaign can be, so to be clear, the allegations against me are completely and simply untrue. There are emails, text messages, and video evidence that flatly contradict them. Okay, so look, this is nasty. This is awful. These allegations, especially the really salacious ones, have been spread and amplified by people who seemed a lot more interested in outrage and getting clicks on headlines rather than whether things had actually happened or not. They didn't. To imply, for a second, forget the idea of whether this happened or not. To imply that the main reason people were talking about this is it was just some form of outrage farming, and not that it's disgusting to have multiple women come forward and accuse you of assault. This statement has completely lost the plot. Essentially, he would also be talking about me, I suppose, because here I am talking about this. This is not coming from... Actually, it is. I am outraged, but like, because this is gross. Sorry, I need some water. I don't even know where I put my water. That is not the main reason that people were talking about this by any means. I was there while it was happening. People were disturbed, disgusted by these claims. Anyways, he says, one thing that's kept me going through all this madness is the conviction that the truth would eventually come out. I expected that when the allegations were first made, there would be journalism, and that the journalisms would take the mountains of evidence into account, and was astonished to see how much of the reporting was simply an echo chamber and how the actual evidence was dismissed or ignored. Okay, I was a journalist once. I have enormous respect for journalists. So I've been hugely heartened by the meticulous fact and evidence-based investigative writing of one particular journalist whom some of you recently brought to my attention, who writes under the name of Technopathology. We need more water before this. I was like, is he really about to shout out one of those obsessed accounts that just goes bit by bit and tries to collect every single bit. I was like, that can't be what this is. I just jumped to a conclusion. Let me finish this. I've had no contact with technopathology, but I'd like to thank them personally for actually looking at the evidence and reporting what they found, which is not what anyone else had done. If you're curious about what they've uncovered so far, the clickable link in my bio takes you to really good investigative reporting. Anyways, he says, this is going to surprise some of you. It's been a strange, turbulent, and occasionally... Oh, and by surprise, I mean it's not going to surprise any of you. I was being sarcastic. It's been a strange, turbulent, and occasionally nightmarish year and a half, but I took my own advice. When things get tough, make good art. And once I was done with making television, I went back to doing something else I love even more. Writing. Oh. So you have a new book to sell us. And this is why... you have to come forward and say, oh, this was a smear campaign. And if you don't believe me, check this one unhinged internet account. Okay. I thought it was going to be a fairly short project when I began it, but it's looking like it's going to be the biggest thing I've done since American Gods. It's already much longer than the ocean at the end of the lane, and it's barely finished wiping its boots and hanging up its coat. And I spend half of every month being a full-time dad, and that remains the best bit of my life. Okay. I don't want to, this is not related to the video, and I don't want to get hung up on the phrasing of I spend half of my, I know what he means by I spend half of every month being a full-time dad. But I'm like, isn't that just called you have children? I'm sorry. I know what he means. He's not working while looking after these children. But I'm like, brother, that's just called being a father, if you ask me. I don't typically see it referred to as like, okay, never mind. That's not important. It's a rough time for the world. I look at what's happening on the home front. Oh my God. I remember this. I just had a flashback to Jeffree Star, somebody who I have actively never mentioned on YouTube in years on purpose. When he was getting accused of racism, etc., one of the things he did was make a video talking about, like, also look at what just happened to Breonna Taylor. Does anybody, that really did happen. It really was like, you're talking about this right now, but all of these other insane, giant, awful things are happening to other people. Brother, what does this have to do with anything? I get what he's saying, but this never comes across right to me. It's a rough time for the world. I look at what's happening on the home front and internationally, and I worry. And I am still convinced there are more good people out there than the other kind. Thank you again to so many of you for your belief in my innocence and your support for my work. It has meant the world to me. Neil. Okay. Here's the part where I'm going to get for real. Someone said the crazy sofa. The sofa in that video was actually, Chad, I think we could use a distraction because I don't think I've been fully distracted in 28 minutes. And this is a really heavy topic. Jeffree Star addresses the sofa in that Jeffree Star video, which I can still see. I can still see in my mind. Ignore the Jeffree in the middle. That is the scariest couch. Why did you remind me of that? Actually. Why did you remind me of this couch? The existence of this couch. It's so bad. Who made this for who? You know what I mean? Someone said it's plush, it's gold. No. It's so... Some of y'all finna get mad at me for saying this. Why is he making it politics? No. Aesthetically, this couch is so Trump-coded. Does that make sense? This is a Trump-coded couch, okay? I don't have to explain it. It's not my job to back that up. You had this drop shipped from Trump Tower. Don't even pretend right now. No, it's a no from me. Anyway, thank you for that distraction. Legitimately, I could use it. So, obviously, my next thought was I wanted to know what is this technopathology person? What have they been doing? Lo and behold, they have this project called Neil Gaiman is Innocent. And actually, you'll notice right here, he uses the same language right here. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong thingy. Oh, I liked it. Ah, no, no. Okay. Neil, if you're watching this, I did not like your post. If you were on your phone and you were like, oh, D'Angelo Wallace has liked your... No, he did not. No, he did not. Oh my God, I wish I could just... I'm finna DM this man and be like, you might have seen a notification. No, you didn't. Swipe away. That wasn't me. He doesn't have notifications on. Sorry, that made me feel odd. That made me feel nasty. Okay, we don't like this, or I don't like this. You're free to like this if you want. Anyways, the panic of accidentally liking a post is on my account specifically. Try being an influencer for a day. Try being an influencer for a day. I'm telling you, I'm verified on Instagram. Hold on. I'm finna complain about some nice to have problems. Whenever I do anything on an account like this, people, they get notified. It shows. No, it's a no for me. This ain't Twitter verification either. This is not like I didn't pay for a check mark. I have the check mark. He might have actually seen that, but I'm gonna say no, dog. I did not like your post. anyways. Someone said log out. I need to log out. But then when I log out, they don't let me look at the post. So this is just the risk that you run. Anyways, holy moly. I got so distracted by that. What I was actually getting at was, we're going to move really slowly here. Look, this is actually important, okay? He says, thank you again to so many of you for your belief in my innocence and your support for my work. This whole technopathology thing is like, no Gaiman is innocent, no Gaiman is innocent, no Gaiman is innocent. This is probably like, this is an unpopular opinion, even though I consider it a cold take. I don't think you should have a belief that Neil Gaiman is innocent, period. You don't have a way of knowing that. If you actually believe that, it would be based off of your opinion of his work. You know what I mean? I think framing this as thank you for not believing these accusers or these survivors, these people who have come forward, that strikes me as very odd. Why are we running pages talking about Neil is innocent, Neil is innocent, we can prove it, we can prove it? You don't know that. That's what bothers me so much about people who get accused of things and have large platforms, etc. This rampage we go on to prove that actually it's not that big of a deal. Someone said point blank, no, he's not innocent. Like, people are also like, too, they're like, innocent until proven guilty. Chat, that's for the courts. That's for the courts. Innocent until proven guilty is so that we don't lock people up before for no reason. That's essentially what the phrase means. Innocent until proven guilty doesn't mean that anytime somebody says you did something, no, you didn't, unless they can prove it. It's a no from me, dog. It's a no from me. Someone says celebrity fan clubs are next level. Yeah, no, it's someone rephrased it as thank you for not believing victims. That is essentially what he is thanking people for. You are free to say this is a jump. I'm overanalyzing, but thank you for believing in my innocence is just very strange when he knows that his fans don't know the truth about what happened. It's very odd. Reading chat. Someone said that account is sus though. Which account? My account? Or Neil's account? Or this technopathology thing? Because this is sus. I agree. This is quite sus. This, however, unfortunately, is fully Neil Gaiman. There's no question about it. This is actually him. Anyways. So I started poking around this website and I might have actually incurred psychic damage. Here, I'm just going to do a little bit of a scroll, okay? Scrolling. It's just post after post after post after post about Neil Gaiman being innocent. Oh, here we can prove he's innocent because of this. We can. It's like I'm not even going to like click into some of these articles because they're going into way too much detail about the actual what do you call them? They go into way too much detail about the actual accusers. I don't think blowing them up like this makes any sense when they are already trying to work this out in court. But this person has gone through and picked every single person. We're like, oh, we're going to prove this. We're going to prove that. Some of the stuff they're saying could even be true. Even if you're trying to prove honestly that every single person who accused them is Satan, that still would have nothing to do with their right to come forward if something awful has happened. The fact that you would even be comfortable, I guess, redirecting people to a website like this is so odd to me. They have this Neil Gaiman is innocent. So they have a TLDR for their entire website where they just go bit by bit and give all of these like short form answers. Did Neil Gaiman sexually assault someone? They're like, well, someone said, look, this is nasty. Well, number one, did Neil Gaiman sexually assault someone? Answer, well, the main accuser is on record effusively stating that her sexual relationship with Gaiman was entirely consensual. 2, so why these accusations? Well, later someone persuaded her to go to the police and pursue a court case. The existence of this page doesn't surprise me. People are like this when it comes to anybody making any sort of allegations. It never goes well, unfortunately, for people who come forward. But having this signal boosted by the accused is unhinged. You are on main redirecting people to this point-by-point breakdown website, which is absolutely unhinged. It's unhinged. Did they traffic her? No. She came to the island voluntarily. Someone said, stop, this can't be real. It is actually full. I believe it's still in his bio. Hold on. It's still in his bio, y'all. This is odd. This is strange. This isn't like, oh my God, this is so odd. I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely did not do any kind of deep dive into this. No, I did not read every single article. But when I started seeing like, here, I'll give you an example of one where I was just like, this absolutely cannot be real. Hold on, give me a second. No, Gaiman is innocent. The accusers are, quote, poor-mouthing. Claims of economic dependence significantly shape how we see these accusations. Because as I said, one of the accusers was his nanny, was somebody who was dependent on him financially, which adds a whole nother level of ick to this. And this person's like, using that status or their status of being financially dependent is a way to dismiss the consistent evidence of consent. They had no real choice. One problem, they aren't poor. And so in this article that I'm absolutely not going to scroll through, they start being like, actually, this person had this much money, so what she was saying was false. And they do this for every single point that people are using to talk about these accusers. This is genuinely disgusting. This might be the clearest example of you absolutely just went into this from jump. It's not about what actually happened. It's just about trying to discredit your accusers. I'm reading chat. Someone said, why is it and so clickbaity? The tone of it is really gross. Somebody said, I think he means New Zealand. Oh, sorry. If I said the wrong country, my bad. Yeah, this occurred, or one of the incidents that was alleged occurred in New Zealand. Someone said, who wrote these? Chat, I don't know. I really don't know. To even have this be your online presence, this is not something I would typically draw attention to because it's just a random Substack that anybody could be running. But to have it signal boosted on this level, unfortunately, every single news article, almost all of them that I saw, that I clicked into multiple of these, included the part about his statement. He was like, go check this weird blog for more information. So honestly, that does pretty much put this among the worst responses to accusations I've ever seen. Somebody said, wait, since when can you not be abused if you're rich? And that is literally one angle. I just picked the rich angle. They have like every single claim that you could possibly make against somebody. They make it on the Substack article, or a Substack. I don't know what you call a Substack. A Substack, I guess. Someone said, watch it actually be Neil. Regardless of whether it is, that's not a claim I can make, even though. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is like him claiming right here, I've had no contact with technopathology, is so strange to me, because I'm like, then why are you like highlighting them as a source? Yeah, I don't. It's so odd. Someone said it's so weird. Yes, it's just weird. It's just weird. Anyways, I feel myself getting stun locked. I want to give you an example of some of the stuff technopathology says, right? Oh, you have these WhatsApp messages. You have these WhatsApp messages that I'm not going to go through all the way. And they're claiming essentially that everybody consented to everything. Now, just because you got WhatsApp messages of people consenting to things doesn't... I said this point verbatim in my last stream, didn't I? Just because you have gotten some sort of recorded consent or whatever doesn't absolve you from any and everything. That it's not just a full pass to do whatever you want to people and have it never be described as unconsensual. But some of the stuff in here I actually found really odd, really disturbing. On page 14. Oh, I didn't realize how small this was. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think I can make this bigger, so I am gonna sort of like read some of this to you. God, what device did you pull this from? Whose WhatsApp has text this small? That obviously has nothing to do with anything. I think my brain is looking for things to distract me right now. Why is your WhatsApp text so tiny? Anyways, I just want to know. The green bubbles are Neil. I really want to know how you thought this was going to make anything look better for you. Honestly, when Amanda, the estranged wife in question, told me you were telling people I'd raped you and were planning to Me Too me, I wanted to kill myself. But I'm getting through it a day at a time. And it's been 2 weeks now, and I'm still here. She said you were telling lots of people about you and me, saying it was not consensual, and you were thinking of Me Tooing me, etc., etc. It was very unstabilizing. I spent a week actively not killing myself, if you see what I mean. She told me not to text you as it would only make it worse, etc., etc., etc. She called my agent and told her about you and called my kids and friends and warned them I might be suicidal. I'm so glad you messaged me. I thought you were a monster. You actually shared this publicly. You could say what you will about what he did or did not do. This guy does not actually have a grip on normal ways of interacting with people in relationships. I'll tell you that right now. This more so seems like something that would get leaked from the other side. But yeah, I know for sure if we have any sort of horrible, or I shouldn't say horrible, if we have any sort of diehard Neil Gaiman fans, they're going to be in here talking about, oh my God, you're cherry picking messages. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I believe it's incredibly strange to have conversations where like, oh, you told people that I did this to you? Well, I'm essentially going to kill myself. Or I was going to kill myself because I thought you were saying that. Oh, but you're not. Okay, that's good. I'm just, sorry, a bit stunned. Someone said that's unhinged Twitter chat behavior. Someone said not him calling her a monster. Yeah, no, and no. It's an absolute no from me. And so I'm going to include this part in the video. I already know, unfortunately, that this video is going to be a hotbed for comments saying like, I have presented you a very biased view. I didn't do my research. I etc etc etc. I can't make it any clearer. I have no desire to fall down this rabbit hole. I'm just here to say it is wrong to take accusers and start going point by point and trying to discredit them every single way. It's wrong to be the accused and a famous person and to signal boost getting a website like this into news articles, because that is an example of power that Neil Gaiman has that these people don't have. Nobody who accused him, besides these initial claims, has the power to immediately get back in the news, all of these places with all these things. That the power imbalance is really clear to me, regardless of what did or did not happen. I don't disbelieve victims, excuse me, or I should say survivors or accusers. Like, I'm also not making a video telling you, oh, I know that this happened. I don't. I'm just telling you this is an example of just a horrible, horrible response. Some sort of massive abuse of power. It really, really is. This blog is unhinged. This is unhinged. But yeah, I encourage you, if this is something that you were unfamiliar with and you would like to know more, seek out the first person sources of what the accused were saying. That would be the Vulture article. They were on a podcast talking about this. And then go ahead and see Neil's response and come to your own conclusions. I'm just here on the sidelines, essentially calling foul where I see something very deeply wrong happening that I know people are going to be running with. And it's such a weaselly thing to do too, when he does know that fan bases are like this, has been cultivating a fan base for such a long time. People are going to run with this. They're going to run with this. This blog is going to do numbers among the Neil Gaiman defenders. And I'm just telling you right now, the idea of the blog is disgusting. It's not for us to interfere and try to block people who are coming forward. It's nasty. Reading chat. Someone said, but also massive trigger warning. Yes, exactly. Do your research, but please be warned that everything the accuser said was quite graphic, which is why I'm not repeating it here, because I'm just trying to make this one little point. This is one little video. Reading chat. So how much longer do you think I'll be streaming? Well, I pretty much wrapped this topic, but I do have some more time left on the stream. Someone said this is the kind of stuff Manson was doing, threatening to harm himself, minus the threats to her that we can see. Yeah, no, dude. Stuff like that. This is a tangent now. This is tangential. But like threatening to kill yourself as an attempt to manipulate people into doing things. First of all, you should be able to ID that as wrong regardless. But like, as somebody who has struggled with ideation myself, I'm just like, that's foul. That's absolutely foul of you to do. That's awful. That's really, really bad. It doesn't even matter. Like, awful. And the thing that you're trying to prevent them from doing is coming forward and quote me tooing you. By the way, I have another one for you, chat. How weird is it to refer to making accusations as me tooing? I'm including this in the video because it only literally just hit me. Call this a reach. I don't care. For Neil Gaiman to have this level of supposed believe victims, etc., and then privately refer to anyone coming forward as you're trying to me too me, you fully don't believe in this movement. You do clearly think it is just like some sort of weird thing that women are doing to tear people down. That is really, really weird. I'm so sorry. That is quite strange to multiple times say, why are you trying to me too me? While publicly being like, I believe survivors. No. Anyway, any final thoughts? I'm opening this for corrections. I'm quite open to the idea of me having missed something. I saw people saying he was like using autism as an excuse or something. I don't know if that's true. I'll tell you right now, that ain't no excuse. But yeah, no, anything else y'all think I should cover before I wrap? If not, I'll record an outro and then we'll move on to the next few topics. Some say he's a man child. It's nasty behavior. It's nasty behavior. Some says strange is an understatement. I said strange is awful. It's terrible. It's disgusting. That's actually what I meant. That's what I meant. Reading chat. Oh, okay, hold on. Somebody brought something up that's great, and I think I should talk about. I agree. Part of this whole thing was that there is no consensual with such a huge power gap. He was paying her. He was an internationally famous author. She was a nobody, quote unquote, who needed to keep her job. I do think for sure that is, by the way, that's why that Substack was trying to prove that she was rich, because they on some level do understand that power imbalances are real. I know people get really, really pissed off at the idea of a power imbalance. People are like, no, adults are adults and everybody's making their... Yes, adults are adults. Don't infantilize people, but you're going to work... Chat, please work with me while I make some claims that are going to get me labeled a terrible commie or something like that. All forms of employment are exploitation, honestly. And that's just sort of something I see as a fact. It doesn't automatically add any sort of moral value judgment to anything, this, that, the other. But these are absolutely things that you should keep in mind when talking about what a boss did to his employee, or what somebody who is rich did with somebody who has less money. There's already exploitations already involved. That is why it's actually quite important to be like, this was a nanny saying that this person is doing this. And if you, I don't know, it's not super hard to get. It took me a long time to realize that. It took me a long time to understand that. I didn't believe it fundamentally. I was like, nah, you know what I mean? I have so much agency and power. I do have agency and I do have power. But like, if I was working directly for somebody who was paying my paycheck in a capitalist society, automatically exploitation is occurring. And so it's always important, I feel like, to, I don't know, you can't just shy away from these things and you can't pretend like they don't matter or they have nothing to do with this. Consent in general is so deeply misunderstood, and people seem to think it really does just mean yes or no. No, but also another thing I don't want to do is make it sound like it's some sort of super... People are putting the red book emoji. No, don't do that. They're going to come for me. Another thing I don't want to do, though, is like spread this false idea that consent is also super complex and weird and wildly difficult to understand. No, it's a little bit more complex than yes or no, but not much more. And that's my current understanding of it. I've had to shift a lot. Let's just be honest. When I was a child, they taught me no means no, essentially. Was the only thing I learned about consent. All the way into adulthood. I was older than 18. I was a grown man. And I believed, well, the only way for someone, like, I wasn't doing anything with anybody. I had no riz. But I was like, that sounds about right. But then essentially learning like, oh, that is such an oversimplification. And there's so many ways in which actually even just the idea that no means no can be used to weaponize more complex scenarios where other forms of exploitation are at play. That's what I had to unlearn. It was a mess. Reading chat. Someone said, I did consent workshops at uni and experienced some willful misunderstanding. Yeah, no, it's not rocket science. It truly is not rocket science. It really is not. Someone said Riz. Well, I don't know. No, you're right. I did not have any. I was a book nerd. All the time that I was in college, I didn't have a single relationship. I was in college for like, I was like, I'm here to do school. And look, hold on. tangent. I don't want to get too like braggy or whatever. I did have Riz actually. Not often. It wasn't every day. But more than once, people were like, D'Angelo, you're the one. You're the one. And I was like, that's crazy because I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree. So you're finna have to wait. I had that form of focus. I was like, a relationship? No, I'm here for education. My family told me that as the first person to get a bachelor's degree in the family, apparently this is a life or death scenario. So I can't get distracted by things as temporary as relationships. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Reading chat. Someone said there are 46 pages of text messages we're avoiding looking at right now. Well, can I talk about that too, by the way? Because like, one thing I deeply despise, I actually really truly hate about talking about topics like this is people will try to intentionally muddy the waters by releasing too much information. They will release too much information. Look, I'm going to show you. Look, even just trying to Google right now, if you just try to Google like no gaiman accusations, some of you are going to be like, it sounds like you're arguing, or I should say allegations. It sounds like you're arguing for less information. No. What I'm getting at is there being 46 pages of text messages is not an accident. It's actually so much better for people if you have to piece together like 5 different articles and sort through 46 pages of text messages and this, that, the other, because a lot of people are going to opt out of that. They're going to see Neil saying, oh, this disproves everything, and then see that there's 46 pages, not read it, and then believe it. They're going to see headlines that are like, as we saw earlier, suit is dismissed, and then not actually look at the filing and what that filing was saying and be like, well, the suit was dismissed. No, you have to read pages and pages and pages to see it was dismissed on grounds of location and was encouraged to be filed elsewhere and can be reopened if that does not work. Like, the information overload is wild. It's wild. Reading chat. Someone said I just read the allegations. Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Please decompress. We're gonna switch off into other topics. But anyways, one more time. Do we have anything else? Any other topics we want to talk about? I'm seriously open. I like sort of, that's why y'all are here with me on the live chat. Me sitting in a room by myself is fine, but any other thing with this Neil Gaiman thing that you feel like I may have missed or is big or whatever. Some of the people's attention spans are so short. They are. Oh my God. I mean, now I sound like I'm complaining about the youth, but my attention span is shot. My attention span is shot as well. Someone said, am I late? You missed the main topic, but I'm still finna stream. Don't worry about it. All right, I think we're good. I'm not seeing any big, you missed this entire giant portion of the story, so I'm finna wrap it. Some of the stuff he did involving his kid. No. I don't. Actually, I'll leave this in the video. Chad, I want you to know I'm leaving out massive portions of context of the things that Neil Gaiman did or was alleged or accused of doing, because I don't want to go over those things. No. Someone said the thing is, why now? It's absolutely because he has. You're asking a good question. It's absolutely because he has a new book coming out. That is why now. There has been, that I've seen, no actual sort of major update prompting this. Clearly he wants to get back in somebody's good graces, and if you can at least scrounge together the people who will believe in Unhinged Substack, you can sell a book to them. You don't even need your legions of former fans or whatever to support you. Reading chat. All right. Stay right where you are, y'all. I'm going to record an outro, and then we gonna move on, and I will be happier for it. This is a fake goodbye. I'm not leaving. So say goodbye to YouTube, and then we'll move on. Anyway, I usually say, hopefully you never have to think about Neil Gaiman again, but these are things that we should think about. Just looking for these power structures and how they're being weaponized against people is pretty awful. So I will try to keep looking out for that, and hopefully you do as well. But yeah, this video was actually recorded live right here on YouTube, where I stream quite frequently Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Unless I don't, in which case I have just decided to, I don't know, go to sleep or not do my, this is on you, not me, is what I'm getting at. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next video or the next stream. And if not, it doesn't really matter. Okay, bye. All right. Wata. Y'all make me look so famous when you say bye. Hold on. Can I brag a little bit? Because like recently it was implied that like I'm completely irrelevant or whatever. But I'm just saying, my chat is popping. My chat don't ever stop. It don't ever stop. We popping. The videos are good. I've been really rocking with them. Okay. So, and when I say recently it was implied that I was irrelevant, I'm talking about getting called meaningless or whatever on that crazy live stream stuff. All right, chat. Let's talk a little bit. Or can I talk a little bit about some things about Caleb Hammer? I didn't want to start the stream off just ranting about that because I am here to work. I am not here to depress y'all with like long drawn out, backs and forths, but I do seek a form of closure that I only feel like I will derive through yapping a little bit more. I just want to say, not in a put together video, just casually, I would like to acknowledge that that was ridiculous. That in hands down the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me on YouTube. This weekend was actually surreal. Nobody with a platform like that who actually genuinely does get views, no one has ever reacted that way. I know I said it in I meant it. I wasn't kidding. This wasn't me trying to be pithy or whatever. What was that? Was that real? Did I hallucinate that? And I meant what I said as well, I think in the video before last, of like, I'm done. I'm good. I said what I said. Very much not interested. Someone said his reaction was so 13-year-old teenager coded. Yeah, someone said they were shocked. I was shocked. They said, hold on. Cause now I'm really finna talk some stuff right now. Just kidding. Okay, so my computer died for a second. Okay. They said in an interview that I did, or I've talked about this interview because it was so cool. Oh, wow. My computer just got really mad at me. Okay, hold on. There was a lot of stuff I did not include. In my Caleb Hammer response because I wanted to stay on topic. But let's get one thing straight. While this man was Googling, how do I fix my awful audio for his videos 3.5 years ago, I was already popular online. You were actually Googling, like, how do I white balance a video? And I was in Business Insider. You are, like, crashing out because you have 3 million subscribers. But I have 2 million subscribers. I did not hammer home, not on this channel, on a different, I didn't hammer home the point in my video because it was not important that like the whole thesis of your argument that like I am literally nobody. Caleb, you're my junior. Do you not know how dates work? It was so funny being talked to like this by somebody whose first YouTube video came out 3.5 years ago. I was actually laughing. I was trying so hard not to just start ranting about how like, Caleb, this doesn't make any sense. Y'all, you don't even know what I've done. I was gonna start sounding like Caleb. And that's why I didn't make that point. But one thing I would like to say is it was recently pointed out, I wasn't keeping track, but the published press said in my most recent article, racking up 4.3 million subscribers and 278 million views across 3 separate channels. I mean, even I believe most of my subscribers are repeat, but that was still at least 2 million separate subscribers. And all my 278 million views and all my 250 million views, I ain't never seen nobody react that badly. That was with no shorts, by the way. Well, I've uploaded 3 shorts, but that wasn't with the short strategy of like constant. Nah, I just naturally accrued 250 million views just by yapping online. So yeah, no, being essentially told for 4 hours that like I was irrelevant or this, that, the other. I was like, but I'm finna accrue another 250 million views probably over the next couple. I might do it twice as fast as I did the last one. And then I'll just keep going. That's the thing about me. One day, I do truly believe this. Even if people are like far beyond me or whatever, or they grow faster or this, that, the other. But y'all don't got that dog in you. You can't kill me. I'm just going to Energizer Bunny my way. Ow. I hit my hand on my mic stand. I'm going to Energizer Bunny my way into the future. So yeah, no, that was definitely not even like... I was like, okay, you have a lot of subscribers. Me too. Where do we go from here? No, that was funny. I left that part out. What else did I leave out in my video? That was the main part. I had to say it. I'm sorry, Chad. I had to say it. I've been doing this for longer than you. I had to say it. Otherwise, like, Nah. I think I earned the right to be a little bit petty, just a little bit, because I reacted very well. So this is my bad reaction, and I'm going to make this point in 2 minutes, and then we're finna move on. Yes, it is quite amazing to accrue 3 billion views with 3,600 videos. Many of which are short form content, which I don't upload. By the way, he was trying to make fun of me in the stream too. Like, he doesn't even upload shorts. Thank the Lord for that. But anyways, I was really just like, I went to Popular and I was like, Caleb, you got 6 million. I was like, that's your most popular video, Caleb? Okay. All right, buddy. I deleted a video that had 20 million. Don't ever forget that. That's all I got to say. Was it 20? Wait, I might be wrong about that. But point is, it was a bit more than 6. It was a bit more than 6. Anyways, I'm done. That is all. Moving on. All right. Boo. Someone said to flex being popular without uploading YouTube shorts. I know. I've talked about this a while ago. This is not even about Caleb, but just about YouTube shorts. Bro, shorts are why they made the that's why they made the play button smaller. I'm so sad. Like, I'm happy for more people finding success on this platform. Yay. But am I? I feel like they had to give out so many play buttons because of shorts. And I'm just like, man, bring back the big ones. Make 1 million subscribers hard to get again. Oh, that phrasing wasn't good. Make you get what I'm saying. All right, I'm reading chat. Oh, okay. I have a topic, and I am sorry, by the way. I'm literally sorry for this topic. Nicki Minaj, listen, I only talk about her 5 minutes at a time because it's absolutely not important. I'm never making a Nicki Minaj video. I'm telling you that right now. You can clip me. Now, granted, if I wind up making one, okay, I might be lying right now. I don't think it's actually important to like act shocked and surprised by her spiraling into hatred so much, right? But I just want to say it got to the point where I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I know that she's been cozying up to Trump and all of this, but yesterday or the day before yesterday, she was saying they're flying in immigrants to vote. She was in here saying like Chrissy Teigen has had a dick at one point. I was like, it just goes on. I'm not acting surprised that Nicki Minaj is bad. I find that to be kind of disingenuous. I think I wasn't just transvestigation and they're flying in immigrants and start the rapture. Nah, when I saw that recent wave, I'm like, okay, I'm still not making a video about this because that's not important, but holy moly, you are gone. You are gone. Someone in the chat says she's gone. She's gone. I was like, oh, she's gone. She's gone. They got her on the transvestigation garbage. I remember making a video about that on this channel a long time ago. I was like, when you're that far in the rabbit, oh no. And she's been gone, to be clear, obviously. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Someone says she's been gone for 3 years. Yes, I'm trying not to do the YouTube commentary YouTuber thing where it's like, wait, let me show you. Because this is really funny. Let me see if I can find an example of it. Mr. Beast, he's over thumbnails. There is the commentary YouTuber urge. Oh, here we go. Here we go. To essentially talk about people like this who frequently have bad things going on. And it's like, finally done. The end. It's done. Finally over. He's done. It's over. It's like, okay, how many times can somebody finally have lost it? So that's not why I'm here to be like, oh my God, Nicki Minaj finally lost it. But no, I'm just like, I was still shocked just to see this discourse on Maine. I was like, I didn't realize how bad it was. I didn't realize how bad it was. Someone said that's all the same guy. Oh yeah, to be clear, this was literally all on one channel. Which, you know what? Get a bag. Get a bag, honestly. Mr. Beast is done. He's over. Should we check on Mr. Beast? How's he doing, by the way? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not even memeing right now. I do not go to this man's channel. I have no desire to do that. Okay, Mr. Beast. Let me make this a little smaller. Okay, so he has 465 million subscribers. Oh, wow. He's on his way to uploading his 1000th video. Okay, let's see some of these great Mr. Beast content videos that I'm missing out on. $1 versus $1 billion futuristic tech. Okay, so we're cloning people for sure. 30 celebrities fight for $1 million. Okay, sure. Survive 30 days trapped in the sky. Win $250,000. Man, I really don't understand this content anymore. 100 pilots fight for a private jet. This is so interesting. Oh my God, that's just like animal abuse. That one's really weird. I don't like it. I don't like any of this, but like, that was uncomfortable. So weird. Anyways, moving on from that. What was that? Was that like it looked like just AI generated animal abuse pictures for your thumbnail. Someone's like clickbait titles. Yeah, you think? No, that was slop. It's the definition of slop for sure. No, buddy. It's a no. Anyways, moving on. Someone said, did you ever talk about side-eyeing Asian girl at H Mart? Wait, What? I think I know what you're talking about. Hold on. I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the H Mart discourse? I'm not going to be able to find that. Wait. How should Asian people feel about white people in like Asian grocery stores? Chat, I don't got nothing to say about that. That's not. I saw the discourse was happening for sure, but I was like, there's so many more people who would have more cogent thoughts about that. That's why I didn't talk about that one. Someone said context needed. There was a lot of context. I remember vaguely this happening of people. Here, it's here. Look right here. Essentially, it's just a controversy that TikTok was talking about. How should Asian people feel about white people in Asian grocery stores? That's the question that this creator didn't even mean to ask when she posted her now viral video, which resulted in callouts, doxing, and quote, ultimately a conversation too nuanced for TikTok. Essentially, what I'm saying is like, there's so many people who could make nuanced conversations about that. I don't have like grocery stores. Now, wait, I'm sounding stupid even just talking about this. You understand why I left this to the professionals, chat. I don't know everything about everything. Anyways, reading chat. Someone said white people literally attacked her for this joke. That's not right. I mean, I don't know what did or not happen, but yeah, no, getting mad over things that are jokes, I feel like is so. Now I sound like a podcast bro, right? Now I sound like a podcast bro. But actually, let's get into it. It's definitely not the same thing, in my opinion, for a person of color. Now, hold on. This is the part where they're finna be like, this is a double standard. I don't think it's the same thing to like make a joke or a comment or a statement about like, oh, I'm side-eyeing white people in Asian restaurants. Here's a much better example of this, though. Forget about race for a second. This is why I don't get offended by this kind of thing. Do y'all remember the bear debate? Man versus bear debate? It was the same thing where men felt very attacked by women saying things that the men perceived as, I don't know, disrespectful or whatever. And I'm like, nah, you should just think about what's going on here. It was, you all know the man versus bear debate, asking women like, who would you rather encounter in the woods, a random man or a random bear? And so many women were like, I would choose the bear, if I'm being honest. And you had men seething, being like, how dare you? What are you saying about men? This, that, the other. And I'm like, this is a wild thing to get upset about as a dude. I won't lie. So that might be a false equivalence on my part, but that's kind of how I see that. If somebody's like, oh no, I'm side-eyeing people in this grocery store, and then you're getting like really, really, really deeply offended by that, I'm like, okay, but why? Why? But that's why I did not comment on this, because I didn't do my research, and I try not to talk about things that I don't know, chat. Someone said, as a male, I choose the bear too. Okay, here's the thing. I'm late to this man versus bear discourse. Even setting aside issues of safety or whatever, brother, I'm choosing the bear because why is there a random man in the woods? I'm not talking about, some people do live in wooded areas. That's not what I'm talking about. At least the bear is supposed to be there. Why is there a random man in the woods in the first place? I'm assuming some sort of intent. I don't want to encounter that. How long have you been here? Why are you here? What is your intention? No, a bear, I could just be like, oh, well, you know. Someone said I got blocked. Who did I get blocked by? Did I get blocked? But yeah, no, I would choose the bear as well as a man, personally. Someone said, thank you. Wait, I'm reading chat. Sometimes I could talk the bear down. Yeah, why would a man be there? Yeah. No, there's definitely a much more nuanced conversation to have about like safety and women feeling unsafe. I'm not even making light of that. I'm just saying, almost pedantically, you should choose the bear regardless. Nah. Anyways. Reading chat. Someone said I got blocked on Bumble by picking a bear. For picking the bear, you dodged a bullet. That's what you did. Are you actually saying that you said you would pick the bear and someone blocked you? A man blocked you? I'm gonna make an assumption based off of your story. Hold on, chat. I'm blowing up this person's dating history right now. You were on a dating app and you implied that in the woods, confronted by either a strange man or a strange bear, you would pick the bear and this man blocked you? Nah, you dodged the bulletest of bullets. That is an no. I'm so glad he blocked you. So you say yes, sir, that man blocked you? Oh, I'm so glad you were blocked over that. No, nobody should be reacting that way. That's wild. Blocking was the only thing he could do. And he did it. You don't want it. Somebody who's always doing the most they can do. That one little bit of power he had to show you in that moment. How dare you have the wrong opinion? That's a no for me, dog. Actually, since we're here though, let's continue this train of thought. Some women dodgy territory. Also say things that men frequently get annoyed at, like, I hate men. I see a lot of like what is perceived as man hate and this, that, the other. And this might just be me being delusional. I still don't really get offended by that either, because I'm like, obviously tone policing people who are expressing frustration is not smart in the first place. But I'm also like, it's not me though. Because I'm like, I agree. I also hate this institution of things that are awful, but I'm finna try not to be that. And I'm gonna have to confront myself a lot to make sure that I'm not this. But yeah, when I see people being like, oh my gosh, men, I'm also usually like, I know, men, right? And then I'm like, wait, you're a man too. Make sure that you're not being this thing that everybody is mad at. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the whole men discourse or man hate or whatever. Because I think what is so silly, and this is my observation, is like when you get what is called man hating or man bashing, whatever, it comes out as, oh, patriarchy has disadvantaged me, I'm upset, I hate that men can do this, etc. When you get, and I'm sorry by the way for going there, but when you get like woman hate, it's like woman murdered by boyfriend, woman murdered by boyfriend. It's the same headline every single time. And when you get people who will sit here in front of a camera on a podcast mic and being like, oh yeah, people hate men, there's a war against men or whatever. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. And there isn't, because the difference between what gets labeled as man hate or feminist hate men or whatever and actual hatred of women. It's absolutely not it, chief. But they're going to call that performative or whatever, or me being a pick me or whatever. It's just obviously not the same thing, is how I feel. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Some say they're worried about having their feelings hurt and we're worried about losing their lives. Yeah, no, it's no. No. You should not. No. But you know what though? Can I be honest though? I did used to get offended. I did. As a man, actually, when I was much, much younger and I would see any sort of like, there was a version of me that would have been really pissed off. I did used to be like, not all men. I did. I would never tell somebody that if they were talking about it. I would never try to use that to shut them down. But in my heart, I would just be like, oh no, well, it's not all men. But then I realized I needed to reframe my thinking to like, well, I'll try not to let that be me. Not me, hopefully. That's what now when I see people saying things about men in general, I'm not thinking, well, it's not all men. I'm thinking, not me, hopefully. And if that means I have to think about what they said, I might be doing something that I was unaware of. That is bad. In my attempt to not want to be the man that people are complaining about, it's much easier to unpack things. But yeah, no. It's a real urge. It's a real masculine urge to be like, not all men. But when you change that to like, well, I hope it's not me, you come across as much less unhinged. Oh my God. Someone said growth. It's growth. It's growth. It's growth. And I hate tone policing. I don't like tone policing. Because when you get people complaining about these things or bringing up valid issues or whatever, it's like, it's not helpful to try to be like, well, you shouldn't have offended me in your attempt to bring up this issue. But anyways, I don't want to rant about this. I never made any sort of content about like actually deprogramming from a lot of really toxic stuff that I believed, as I mentioned frequently, like growing up in Texas. And I'm not labeling every single person in Texas as a conservative. That's not the case. But I was surrounded by conservative, and unfortunately I had conservative beliefs for sure. I did all of this like quietly and I just tried to be like I almost said like fly under the radar levels of not being a mess. I don't want to build my entire platform as like, actually, I'm a man who did the work. Yeah, Neil Gaiman, right? I'm not saying that's what he was doing, but no, I think the best thing that you can do if you're a man, honestly, and you want to help out feminism or whatever, correct me if I'm wrong about this, I think you should just try to normalize these opinions. Don't be like, I believe this thing that like feminists believe, so I'm gonna really like go out there and make this about how, yes, I have these feminist opinions. No, you need to be out there with men explaining this is actually a cold take. This thing that you think makes you an amazing male feminist or whatever is actually a normal thought that we should all be thinking. I don't put like feminist in my bio or whatever, because while I am, my only thought that I'm thinking is like, but that's because everybody should be. That's all. It's not a brownie point. We should all want this. Please, for the love of God, make this sound normal and not like something we need to award people for. Anyways. Someone say you just need to have empathy. Yeah, exactly. And just having empathy will make all of this stuff sound normal anyway. Anyways, people are asking me about the Grammys. I can talk about the Grammys a little bit. Let's do an outfit review. Hold on. Oh, wait a second. There was one outfit that I saw at the Grammys that if I show it on screen, I'm going to get in trouble. Hold on. I can't show you every outfit. I can't. That's not going to work, actually. Because one of the outfits, I was like, YouTube is never, ever going to allow this, even though I thought it was really interesting. And that's the only thing I ever want to see on the floor is people doing things interestingly. So I thought it was really cool, but I was like, oh, nah, my whole channel's finna get nuked if I even allude to what Chapel Roan did. Okay, hold on. Here, I'm gonna show you a screenshot. This is probably all right. So this was one of the Grammys. This was one of the outfits at the Grammys right here. Chat is a no in terms of me being, it's not happening. Can't do it. I don't even feel like suggesting what was happening there, but it was really cool. That's the only thing I care about. You could wear the weirdest things you've ever seen, and I'd be like, I understand the vision. That was pretty neat. And that's how I felt about that. That particular Grammys outfit, Chapel Roan. I was like, whoa. Because I think that's the other thing too, is like, should I record? Hold on. I'm going to start recording. I'm not promising this is coming out. I've been recording on and off, just little things or whatever. All right. As for the Grammys 2026, I should address the elephant in the room. I can't show you Chaperone's outfit. Finna get this whole channel banned. That would be the last video you ever see. However, I thought it was amazing. I actually got stopped in my tracks. That's what I want to happen. I want celebrities to do things with their red carpet outfits that have me going like, what? I didn't even know clothes could be that. So unfortunately, I can't show you the most interesting Grammys outfit, but we can certainly look at some of these other ones. We can certainly look at some of these other ones real fast. All right. So I'm going to open this up. Who has a good list of these? I feel like Vanity Fair sometimes has really good ones. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Vanity Fair is going to help me out. Okay. Just really got to make sure. Is there like a slideshow? Hold on, chat. Y'all don't realize how dangerous what I'm trying to do. This isn't a good idea. I have stuff on my screen right now that's like... All right, I'm going to slide this over here like this. Vanity Fair is trying to lock me out of this. Someone said Bad Bunny. Oh, I want to talk about Bad Bunny's fit because it was fire. It was fire. Hold on. I ain't no hater. Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to just go one at a time. Bad Bunny. We got Bad Bunny. Hold on. I need to arrange this better. So this looks a little nicer. I'm going to put him in the middle of the screen. Bad Bunny looking like a bad baddie, honestly. All right. This sort of changes my opinion on the suit. Usually, I will never allow people to get... Men, I will never allow you to get away with the suit on the red carpet because it's boring. However, if you bring this level of cleanliness to it, then I have to applaud it. I think he just looks clean as hell. That's my opinion, chat. I think he looks clean as hell. I know most people should not be wearing suits on the red carpet. You have unlimited money. Please do something more interesting. Okay. We've got... Oh, wait, hold on. I should include this right now. None of this is an endorsement. None of this is an endorsement of the celebrity. Here's an example. Nicki Minaj didn't go to the Grammys because she said that it was like a satanic ritual where they were sacrificing children. Not making this up. If Nicki Minaj comes up in this photo set and I say something about her outfit, it's not because I agree that people are... It's just an outfit review, not a celebrity review. All right. Anyways, Tiana Taylor. Chat, I think this is dope. I like it. I feel like it's kind of like subversive a little bit. That being said, I personally could never put that much faith in my clothes. My clothes are always constantly falling off. And I feel like wearing something that is in a state of constantly falling off would freak me out. But Tiana Taylor looks clean though. That is fire. Also, I mean, I need to go to the gym. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Did you see where I'm going? I need to go to the gym. All right, we've got Lady Gaga. This, I feel like my opinion on this, someone said they used tape. Okay, well, that would explain it. That's why celebrities are never worried about their clothes falling off. You're right. They do use tape. But man, that's a lot of faith. I feel like Lady Gaga's outfit is kind of exactly what I thought it would be. That's not a bad thing. I'm a fan of Abracadabra, Abra Una Na. That's a good song. It's a great song. I like Lady Gaga's aesthetic. I do feel like this is almost in the territory of things I've seen before, but it's so fire. I'm not mad at it, and that's a good outfit. Someone said I'm waiting for the Mac Desert review. Yeah, as much fun as you're having right now, just watch Mac's video. Those are so funny. Please, for the love of God, he's going to do much better than I'm doing right now. This is just fun stream content. Okay, we got Kendrick Lamar. He looks good, for sure. Unfortunately, I don't feel super strong feelings about the suit, and that's the vast majority of the fit. I really like the afro pick and the hair. The glasses are fire, but like, it's very Kendrick. I think it could have gone harder though. That's my opinion. All right, we've got somber. Is this somber? Okay. This makes me change my mind. This suit is fine. No, let me be nice. Let me hold on. I don't need to be here bullying the youth because I think Somber is like young, right? Bro is 20. Okay, you're not gonna catch me with my unk self, talking about how 20-year-olds dress. So all I can say is like, I get it at 20, I guess. I understand it. But maybe that's not the exact vibe I was looking for on the red carpet. All right. Let me check this next one. Make sure it's not wild. Okay. Miss Sabrina Carpenter. This is really pretty. I don't know much about dresses, but it's very like princessy, fantastical. It kind of looks like a cake until it doesn't. And maybe that's the part about it that I'm a little bit unsure on. Like cake layer. Nope, we're just a normal dress now. So that's a little interesting. But other than that, it's quite pretty. How we feel about that? Yeah, I see a lot of people saying it's pretty. It's very pretty. Yeah, no, there's no knocking from me. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to check the next one. Okay, let's see. Wow. Addison Rae. That's... You know, sometimes I do wish my clothes came with armrests. You can feel me struggling to be positive. No, I like it. I like it, but I didn't immediately know that I liked it. Does that make sense? I had to think about it for a second. And that's kind of what I want out of red carpet fashion. I don't think everybody could have. Someone says she actually kind of ate. That's how I feel. I don't think everybody could have pulled this off. And I didn't know how I felt about it exactly. But she is making it work. She's making it work. Someone said not an armrest. No, she really got that built-in hand rest. I might have to figure that out for my own clothes. Okay, we've got Charlie XCX. Uh-oh. The urge to lie to appease her fans and be like, oh no, this is fire. Chat, sorry, my first thought was that this is kind of boring. Listen, I lived through Brat Summer. I'm not saying that you have to be constantly reinventing yourself and constantly doing what. That's not where I'm getting at. I just thought my very first thought was like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? But she still looks good, obviously. It's a cool dress. But I'm like, it almost feels like the separate elements of it want to go in a direction, but it stopped before it got there. You feel me? I'm literally just, this is word salad, final boss, but I'm being for real. I don't have enough fashion knowledge to articulate why I feel like this dress has other parts of it that we just weren't privy to. Someone said, I'm a fan and I agree. Yeah, no, like not trying to be annoying or whatever. All right, we've got, ooh, Olivia Dean. That's really cool. I like it. It's pretty. I mean, I wish I could see the whole thing. It's kind of like Disney princess vibes for sure. The silhouette of it is hilarious because it makes her look really small. Like she's at the top of a... Actually, this kind of looks like an Olivia Dean volcano and she's erupting into fame. And if you think about her recent career trajectory, it's quite fitting. It's quite fitting. People are saying it's gorgeous. It is. Yeah, no, that's pretty. Okay. Looking at the next person. Oh, this is sure to be polarizing. Billie Eilish. Let me drink some water. I understand the vision. The vision is obvious, and I think she looks really cool. I don't think I've ever seen Billie Eilish not look cool. I'm not sure if she could pull that off, even if she wanted to. That being said, it It's certainly not the most interesting red carpet look I've seen thus far. It is a little close to things that, oh, the chat's going. Okay, chat has a lot of opinions on this, but like, she is still cohesive. She is still rocking it. What I don't want to see is celebrities that look confused. Even if I'm like, oh, nah, you could have had like fireworks and stuff. Look at it. She still looks fire. So that's my opinion on that one. Okay, we've got FKA Twigs. Wait, hold on. I really like this one. I really like this one because it looks like, do y'all remember in the 2000s, and it was kind of bleeding over from the 90s, when we were all obsessed with fairies? Or like the idea of being in the woods, or like some sort of wooded, I don't know where I'm going with this metaphor, but like, this is my first thought was like, oh, she stepped out of like a Winx comic or something. This is awesome. She brought, is that like just a flower as an accessory? Yeah, people are saying she ate. It's whimsical. Whimsical is the best word for that. Yeah. I think that is super, super fire. All right. Moving on. We've got, oh, that's cool. I like that. We've got Pink Pantheress. I like this a lot. This is an absolute W. That's super dope. That is dope. She looks really cool. See, when I'm saying like some of these other outfits are a little quote unquote boring to me, it's not that I think you have to wear things that are wild or like way beyond your personality. I just want something that I wasn't expecting. It's really, really neat and still feels very her. Somebody said, is it? No, I could understand not liking this one. I really could, because there's a lot going on, but I feel like she's pulling it together. That's me. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I gotta have to make this one bigger because we have hella people here. This would be Cat's Eye. Hold on, let me just make this bigger. Are they getting married? Or it's like very Bridesmaids, like the 6 baddie bridesmaids vibes that are going on, and I'm not 1,000,000% sold on that personally, but that doesn't change the fact that they look so cool and great, obviously, being the celebrities that they are. But yeah, that's quite the bridal look for Cat's Eye. That's interesting. I wonder what was on the mood board for that. Okay, we have Justin and Hailey Bieber. Can I call this the first miss? I think I'm finna call this the first miss. Why? Because I don't see, but besides the fact that they look good, obviously they look good. They're rich, famous, etc. I'm just like, it's a black suit and a black dress. Yeah. Happy for y'all. Happy for y'all. Okay, we've got Doechii. All right, let's go. Okay. I think she looks really cool. No, wait. Okay. I would describe this look as it's asking a lot from me. I'm trying to do work right now and not just go off of vibes. The bottom half of it. It's not even just the bottom half. It's this area right here is really interesting because it kind of looks like one of those, is it called like a princess bed? Yes. Okay. This was kind of my first thought, was one of these like whimsical beds or like some sort of mattress or furniture. But that being said, it's still really dope and interesting. But yeah. That's an interesting one. But I mean, Doechii could wear the heck out of anything. Okay, we've got Tate McRae. I suppose. Hold on. I feel like this might be kind of hard to see. I really want to get into like, can y'all see that the bottom of the dress looks like it lost a fight with a shredder. That's interesting. It's a cool shape for sure. I'm just not 1,000,000% sold on that as. Oh no, that aspect of it. No. Shibuzi? No. What? What? I'm sorry. Listen, I understand the vision. He's bringing the Levi jeans energy. He's bringing the grit to the red carpet. He's gonna wear dirty jeans, but I'm like, brother, no. Absolute miss. Unequivocal miss for me. I'm sorry. This is not it. Okay, hold on. This is really fun. Oh wow, we got Tyla. Okay, now see, here's the thing. I'm realizing that I get thrown when dresses look like furniture or any sort of clothing looks like furniture, because whereas it's a really cool piece and it flows and all of that, I'm just like, I definitely have a rug. I definitely have a rug that she could have borrowed instead. But like, she still looks good. You know what I mean? That's what makes my commentary so pointless. Maybe one day I should learn about fashion. That way I can come in and I can be like, oh, well, it's actually the trim on the dress and the this and that, and I can like sound less stupid. But all I can really say is, yes, it looks good, but yes, it also looks like a rug that my grandma would have had. And that's just what it is. All right, let's see. This is Sharon Osbourne. It's cute. It's very vampy. It seems like, yeah, that makes sense. We've got Miley Cyrus. Is she joining the Hunger Games? That is my main question about this scenario right here. But it is cool looking. I love the initials MC. But tell me this. Oh, no. Y'all are messing with me. Hunger Games. I can't spell. No, she's definitely joining the Hunger Games. Okay. We've got Miley for the Capitol, which is quite interesting. But that doesn't change the fact that I think she looks really cool. All right. Let's see what we've got. This is Malice, Pusha T, and Pharrell Williams. It's fine. It's alright. It's cool. All right, we've got Kate Trinata. Man, are we going to get to the part where they just put all the outfits that are just not easy to opine on because they're just okay? Hold on. Y'all got to give me something to work with. We've got Maria Zardoya. Oh, no, we don't. Chess, she vanished. Maria, where did you go? Okay, hold on. Now I have to know. Maria Zardoya. What did she wear? Grammys. Okay, no idea what. Y'all were trying to hide one of the coolest fits? Oh, nah. This is some sort of ploy. Why did y'all take one of the like... This is interesting to me. This is like night sky energy, hot topic, borderline hot topic. No, I like this a lot. It looks like she's going to marry Satan. Why did that disappear from the article? Interesting. All right. Anyways, we've got Haim. These are cool. I like the 3 different takes on the same energy. It's really neat. All right. Let's see what else we got. Me checking all of these. I'm not finna get in trouble. Oh, you know what? I like this. This is Lola Young. Nah, I point blank like this. I'm not finna apologize. This is interesting. It's very cool. I like me like a slouchy fit. I would actually wear this. No, this is fire. This is a lot of people are going to hate this. I can tell. It doesn't matter. This outfit ate for me personally. We've got Carol G. Nah, YouTube is gonna get mad at me. Let me see if I can find another picture of this. I don't want to get in trouble, bro. Listen, I'm not the one who thinks like, oh my god, someone's body is visible because they made a choice to wear a certain clothing. Okay. I mean, the outfit's cool. It's a very transparent dress that Carol G has, and we could look at the bottom of it. There's the bottom of Carol G's dress, chat. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, no, that's about all I'm willing to do. Okay, we have Claudia Salewski and Phineas O'Connell. Okay, they lost. No, I'm not gonna let y'all get away with that. What do y'all think this is right now? What is this supposed to be? Actually, no. It's a no from me, dog. Someone said it sure is interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, no to both of y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, we have. Wait, I want to make sure I pronounce her name correctly, because if I say it wrong, everyone's gonna flame me. Okay, bet. Rosé. Yes, I don't want to get flamed. We got Rosé. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. And she looks great, obviously. I like the shape of it. They're going to kill me. Don't kill me. I like the shape of it, and I like the idea of it a lot. I think I'm just not super sold on the execution. If anything, it's mostly like this part right here that I'm just kind of like, you know, but that does not change the fact that it's a good dress and a good fit. Okay. We've got Kelsey Ballerini. Wait, that's interesting. This is hard to look at. This is, whoa. Okay. I like it. I like it. It was immediately confusing, and then the closer I looked, I just got lost. I had to give up and accept it. Someone said candy wrapper for rosés. Yeah, no, this is fire. I like it. I like seeing an interesting color personally. Oh, I see a lot of people don't like this. I understand why. I think like it's very, dare I say, overstimulating, chat. This is like an overstimulating dress, but it scratches the itch for me personally. And I like seeing odd colors like green. Okay, we have Zara Larsson. This is dope. I like it. Zara Larsson, I don't know. I do feel like you get to a certain point and it's like someone has the right energy to make even a paper bag work. Zara Larsson wears anything. And I'm like, yeah, she has the energy to make that work. It's working for her for sure. I like how happy it is. Does that make sense? I see some people saying mermaid energy. I see some people saying no to it. I can see like not rocking with this. I think what I like about it though is on a carpet where you're getting a lot of black dresses and black suits and really muted stuff. This is like happy and free, and that's cool. That's cool. All right. Oh, so we have Huntrix from K-pop. No, they ate. Listen, they ate. We have the three singers behind K-pop Demon Hunters group Huntrix. I'm sorry, this is working. At first I was confused and then I gave up. I accepted it. This is, hold on, I don't even know where to start. Okay, I'll move right to left. This is fire. Just the audacity. I'm not even memeing right now. The audacity to show up in feathers like this is diabolical. That is wild. Okay, next we got this right here. This is like a little more elevated. I understand, but it's still quite a strange silhouette. But I'm sorry, this is my favorite one. This is probably the one some of y'all would hate the most. This is the one for me. I'm like, that is, Because now I think we're getting back into the energy of like, I would wear that. Maybe I just have bad taste. I think hold on. Let's look at the only 2 outfits that I said I would wear so far. Because you're starting to realize I'm the last person who should ever talk about fashion. I would wear this in a heartbeat. And I would wear this. So maybe I'm the problem. All right, getting back into it. I need to stay hydrated. I need more water than that. Yes, go crazy, go stupid with the water. It's never enough. All right. Oh, wait, I gotta scroll back down. So we got... Oh. Nah. We have J Balvin. No. Brother, it's just a suit. What am I supposed to say about that? It's a no for me. Here we have... Who is this? Ana Amelia Bato Cabral and Marcelo Hernandez. Okay. No. It's not a miss. This is not a miss to me personally, but it's very like high school vibes. Sort of like, I mean, nah, it's a little too cute. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean that they don't look great. All right, we've got Leve. Did I say her name correctly? Yeah, I did. Wait, that's the AI. That's the AI. Oh, she said Leve right here. Okay, period. I ain't finna mess that up. I did that off the dome. I remember looking that up for a video forever ago and then not even making that video. Anyways, this is really pretty and it's very Leve's aesthetic. Someone said I like the color but nothing else. I actually kind of feel like that's where I am with it. Where like is an amazing color. But I don't know. It definitely is a dress that dressed for sure. All right, we've got Nikki Glaser. Are y'all going to get mad if I say my first thought was like hefty, like the black trash bags? My first thought was like, I can't. First impressions, because it's not even a bad dress. A lot of effort went into this, but if my very first thought is like, why does it look like it was made out of a trash bag? I don't know. It's a complex thought in my mind. Can we embrace some? I'm sorry. It was my first thought. Anyways. Oh. Okay, well, none of the rest of these loaded. I guess because I tried to like archive the website so it would actually work. Hold on. Some of these I do remember. Okay, I'm going to start going off of the ones that I remember. I remember Gustavo Stein's Grammy Fit, and I was like, what? Excuse me. I'm scared. When I first saw this image, I was like, what? And from my understanding, that's just sort of his aesthetic that he has going on. But yeah, I was definitely like, I'm gonna plagiarize a comment, but someone on Reddit was like, oh, it makes me think like we need Dawn to clean up this oil spill. The baby ducks that are just drenched in the oil. Yeah, no, here I am saying I don't want things to be boring, but then when they're a little too interesting, I'm mad. Okay, let's see if I remember any of these. I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I think I remember Kelly Osbourne's look. Maybe off the top of my head. Grammys 2026. Yeah, I remember this. This is just kind of like, yeah. I just remember thinking that's definitely Kelly Osbourne. It's like so many of the outfits. I was like, I suppose. Oh, wait a second, Paris Hilton. No, this is a great one. Let's talk about Paris Hilton at the 2026 Grammys. I would like to say that I have a vendetta against Paris Hilton's resurgence. This isn't even about the Grammys anymore. Earlier, when I said, oh, me talking about the celebrities isn't an endorsement, Paris Hilton's reacceptance after like fully being voting for Trump and like calling people like hateful stuff. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Now I'm doing the thing where I'm off topic, ranting and rambling. It baffles me. It baffles me. Someone said, let me see Paris. Okay, sorry. Let's get back into why we're actually here. She does look quite stunning. I actually think this is a really dope dress. But no, okay, hold on. Listen, because people like to say that like, oh, this person's a Trump supporter based off of vibes, which are sometimes accurate. But why did... But then maybe this is something that she tried to walk back and say, okay, she's tried to walk this back. When I was put on the spot in an interview, I pretended I voted for Donald Trump. The truth is even worse. I didn't vote at all. Hold on. This is the benefit of a live stream. I don't have to stay on topic. It's not a video. I would like to talk about this. Paris, this is... I'm not going to say this is worse. I'm just going to say I don't even... No. Moving on. Anyways. Oh, you know what's wild too? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this in my OneDrive. I might not be able to find it. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, no, I do have it. Okay. I pulled a document from 9/16/24, back when I was at the height of my daily posting, and these were some of the things that I thought I was going to talk about. Let's go through this. I wanted to talk about Kate Middleton, and I did. I wanted to talk about the humane AI pin, and I did. Look, you're getting a rare behind the scenes look. I wanted to talk about Andrew Schultz's racism, and I did twice. I wanted to talk about Gabby Hanna's apology that week, 2.5 or a year and a half ago. I didn't do it. Because Gabby Hanna scares me. I'm being so serious right now. I wouldn't know what to say. I started doing the research for this video, and I was like, yes, this isn't going to take much research. At that point, I think she had put out like some sort of weird apology or something like that. People were talking about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's get into it. And then I watched the video, and I was like, oh, uh-oh. I can't make like sweeping statements about whether or not people are well. That's the thing about me. Having a platform, speculating on people like whatever isn't good But I will say, anytime I get the inkling of like, is this person well, I move on. I switch. And that is why I never talked about Gabby Hanna, because I didn't know what to say. And I didn't know what was going on there. Obviously, like, that's not going to, you can be unwell and it doesn't absolve you from criticism. But I was just more like, I don't really know what's going on here. And anyways, I wanted to talk about TikTok. Here's why you're wrong. I put up that video. It was great. And then these two topics right here. I wanted to talk about Paris Hilton's rebrand. And I swear to God, I have an outline for this somewhere. And then I was like, you know what? Nah. Mostly because I realized I could talk about that one whenever. Whenever. And then I wanted to talk about Star Wars. I was just stupid. That was stupidity. You ever wondered, oh, D'Angelo, does he ever like have just insanely stupid thoughts? Does he ever almost make everything blow up in an instant? Yes. I almost made everything blow up in an instant because I was about to talk about Star Wars fans. And you know the exact kinds of Star Wars fans I'm talking about. I actually did research for this. I had like, this is how they responded to this person. This is how they responded to that person. And in doing that research, I was like, why would I ever want to enter this conversation with these people? I am a Star Wars fan in that I love the idea of these original 6 movies are great. They're really fun. But I ain't that kind of Star Wars fan. I was like, nah, y'all actually scare me, and I don't want this for me. I don't want this for my life. But this Paris Hilton rebrand video, I will go back and check whatever outline I wrote, and I will rework it, and I'll talk about it because I have some thoughts. I have some opinions, man. I have some opinions. It's almost a can of worms. It really is. The fandom menace. Thank you. I don't remember if I came up with that. I probably did not come up with that at all. Let me see. No. That's what they're called. They're called the fandom menace. I guess? Maybe? Amorphous collection of white-winged trolls, reactionaries, and grifters. Yeah, no, this is them for sure. Yeah, no, look, this is from like 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Let's all stop ignoring the fandom menace. It's real and it's winning. Nah, I was like, you don't need a video. You don't need any of my videos, but I'm unwilling to go through the mental pain of angry Star Wars fans because I just wanted to point out that they be acting wild. They be acting wild. Anyways, so that's an actual title. Yeah, no, they've been labeled this because of how bad they've been. It's a mess. Anyways, let's close all of this Paris Hilton stuff and say I do still think it's quite stunning. Very cool looking. Who else did they delete? Gloria Estefan, Carole King, Brandy Carlisle, Noah Kahn, Trevor Noah, Jamie Foxx, Jelly Roll, Heidi Klum. Okay. Nah, Youngblood. Yeah, sorry. If you got deleted by... Wait, Kehlani was there. I want to know what Kehlani was doing. Now I'm just going off of vibes. Kehlani, Grammys 2026. Someone said Queen Latifah. I would like to see Queen Latifah as well because Queen Latifah is dope. I'm trying to find a good picture. Sorry, hold on, chat. That's interesting. So we've got Kehlani in this is a black dress. She's got her ice out pin on. That's on period. Please, for the love of God, dissolve ice immediately. No, that's fine. That's cute. I like it. She looks good. It's nice. You said Queen Latifah? Hold on. Queen Latifah Grammys 2026. Oh, nah. She got me. Because here's the problem. I would wear this too. I think if we've established that I have some sort of type when it comes to fashion, I think I like the idea of taking common like menswear silhouettes with like I like the idea of taking it and turning it into something super weird, large, and slouchy. It just works for me. And I feel like she looks so good. Like the hair is herring. No, it's a yes for me. It's a yes for me. It's a yes for me. That's just me personally. Okay. Who else? Who else? Chat, is there anyone else I missed? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. This was crazy. This was crazy. Wait. Oh, this wasn't the one. Okay, this in and of itself wasn't the one I was thinking of. I was thinking the flower one. Was that something else? Okay. So this in and of itself, very Kesha, very whimsical, whatever. But, dude. How do I find a good picture of this, man? You would think I'm pulling teeth right now. I don't want to go to the Daily Mail. I don't want to. Okay, fine. I'm going to go to the Daily Mail. Awful, terrible. Just for the picture. Top 5. Honestly, for me personally, and this is just my personal taste, what I like to see, top 5 dresses I ever saw, ever. I saw Kesha in the flower dress looking like she is spring as a concept, and I was like, this is fire. Okay, it's so cool. it's so pretty. I love it. It's great. Hold on, they have pictures of it like closer up, which I think are really interesting. Open a new tab. Hold on. You can kind of see it in motion here. Never mind. Because entertainment tonight doesn't want to work. But take my word for it. Oh, there we go. No, this is fire. This is fire.
Is it heavy? No, it's quite comfortable.
It's campy. It's campy. A lot of people ask about camp as a concept. Someone said, how does she sit? She doesn't. It's not about sitting. It's not about function. It's completely about form. People ask about camp. And I realized too that all 3 of the outfits that I said I would wear are low-key my idea of camp. I think it's a very tricky thing to define, but you know it when you see it. And that's how I felt about the flower dress. I was like, whoa. Anyways, who else is here? Chat, if there's anyone else here that you want me to react to, I mean, I might ignore you. Was there anyone here? Kesha, Michelle Williams, Ryan Teasdale, and Lava LaRue. Kaylani, we already saw Kaylani. Oh, Coco Jones? Wait, I like Coco Jones. That's probably fun. Hold on, let's see. Coco Jones, Grammy 2026. Images. Oh. Well, I do still like Coco Jones for sure. I will say the dress itself, I don't really like it, unfortunately. Someone said Heidi Klum. Oh, yeah, wait. She's always doing the most, so that's probably going to be wild. Grammys. I see Tiana Taylor. Oh, I covered Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor 8, that look down. I covered that. 2026 images. Okay, let's see. Chat, I don't know. I just feel like YouTube is going to be really weird about this dress. I see Heidi Klum's dress, and it's very interesting. If you look at it too closely, it looks like she's not wearing a dress. And so I'm going to go ahead and skip that one for now. but I like it for being interesting. Oh, you're saying I should look at Black's outfit? Okay, hold on. 6LACK Grammys 2026. Let's see what Black was up to. Wait, I kind of like it. Hold on. Let me make it bigger for y'all. Hold on. Oh, it's too big. It's too big. I made it too big for y'all. Okay, wait. I'm so basic. I'm so basic. Listen, I know that is boring. It's I don't even know if this is a good outfit. I don't even think it is. I would wear this. Not even on the red carpet, bro. Day-to-day life. Day-to-day life, you would catch me dressed like this. No, that was a good one. That was someone said prison and okay. I just have bad taste. I have horrible taste. I think we're establishing that. Okay, what else do we got? Queen Latifah. Oh wait, I want to see Halle Bailey's dress. Assuming she wore a dress. Halle Bailey Grammys 2026 images. Open images and new tab. Okay. I'm trying to think of how to word this and work with me. Actually, this might just be the color of the dress. Never mind. This point doesn't apply to Halle's dress. I do see a lot of these transparent clothes though. Oh, she looks good, by the way. Chat, can I throw this out there? Halle Bailey looks good, obviously. This is a separate conversation. And I'm not even talking about her dress because I think it's just that color. I think the transparent clothes trend needs to end. Or I sound like a seal. If you're gonna do it, I want to see like transparency in places that I didn't expect. That's how I feel personally. I want to see like I wouldn't expect the transparency over here and the opaque in the middle. But like in general, the transparent clothes trend, it was very interesting to me the first time I saw it. But that's not a commentary on Halle Bailey, who looks amazing and is just wearing a brown dress. She looks really great. Someone says it's got to go. I agree. It's got to go. I'm over these transparent clothes because I have actually been seeing them for years and years and years. Somebody said Youngblood. I'm not too familiar with Youngblood. Youngblood, Grammys. Wait, Youngblood did one of those songs for Kaiju number 8. So actually I am familiar with Youngblood because Kaiju number 8 was lit. Okay. This is Youngblood. Why are they not like showing his actual fit? Oh, it's right here. It's right here, I guess. I understand it though. It's giving Interview with a Vampire. There's definitely something that he's tapped into right here. I just don't feel fully sold on it. I don't know what it is. What is it? That last little like 5% of this outfit that I'm not getting. I'm not picking up. But that doesn't change the fact that he looks cooler than I ever will. So, not knocking. Nah. Like, I look at all these things and I'm like, I want you to go harder. I see like this hopefully faux, cheetah print trim. And I'm like, blow that up. Make it bigger. Make it crazier. I see like this cross medallion and I'm like, nah, wear something bigger. You know what I mean? 5 to 10% more on this outfit would have been crazy. That's my opinion. Somebody said the other 5% was a missing shirt. I mean, there's that too. But listen, I feel like I just have to accept that everybody's wearing less clothes now. I'm definitely somebody. Again, looking at some of these fits, I'm like, no, we should wear more clothes. We should wear. I love being worn by outfits instead of wearing outfits. But now people are really out there like, actually, I've been thinking about this a lot. Gen Z gets labeled puritanical all the time. We get labeled like puritanical and modest, overly modest, this, that, the other. I want to say right now, for my own benefit, it's not that I am puritanical about what other people are wearing. It's not that I think I should have any input on what other people are wearing. I think sometimes I just get tired. Sometimes, I'm not even talking about Youngblood. He was literally just wearing an open jacket. That's not Youngblood on screen. That's Queen Latifah. I'm not talking about Youngblood or any one person that we've seen on the red carpet. I think sometimes though, I will see like the 17th instance of someone wearing like not a lot of clothes and then just think to myself like, oh, this is kind of like, okay, we're here again. Or like I'll click into a show and it's like sex and I'm like, when I say like I'm not wanting to see like half naked people and sex and all of these things 25/8, it's just like, here, I'll show you my actual opinion on this. It's just this meme right here. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. It's okay. Please do wear what you want. Please do wear what you want for the love of God. But it's like simultaneous. So I don't know how to explain my Gen Z feeling about this without sounding exactly like what people say I am, which is puritanical. No, liberation, wear what you want. But sometimes it's just reading chat. Someone said the fatigue is real. It's the frequency. Y'all are understanding what I'm getting. It's literally the frequency. It's not like, oh, this one celebrity wore like a revealing outfit on the red carpet and now I'm offended. It's more so just like, ooh, I guess we're all wearing revealing outfits now. And I missed that memo. Everything is see-through 24/7 and we're here now. That's literally all it is. Not any one individual person. The collective gets to me sometimes. Anyways, moving on from that. Chat, is there anybody else? We've got Jack Antonoff. I just made an assumption, which wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. I was like, this finna be the most boring outfit you ever saw in your life. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, tell me how I knew. Listen, I never even saw this one. I just saw this man's name and I was like, Jack Antonoff? Nah, he's finna be wearing... I didn't see it in this exact combination. I didn't know it would be exactly this, but I knew it would be. I knew it would be exactly this. I see people saying Chapel. I already talked. Oop, wrong button. I already talked about Chapel's outfit in the beginning. Can't show it to you, but it was incredible. It was seriously amazing. Leon Thomas Grammys 2026. Let's see what we've got for that. I see somebody said I should look at Leon Thomas's fit. It's fire. He looks good. He looks good for sure. I'm real bad at commenting on suits for sure. The hat is fire though. Actually, it is kind of serving. I really like the locks and all of this. And in general, I think Leon Thomas's music is so lit. Someone said Lena Waithe. Was she there too? Bro, how many people did they invite to the Grammys? Okay. Does Lena Waithe do music? Wait. She's like a producer for sure. Okay, yeah, she's an actress and producer. I'm trying to make sure like I'm not the silly one. But you know, you can go to the Grammys all you want. Let's see. I'm trying to find a picture of her. I can't find it. Chat, nobody even has a decent picture of Lena Waithe if she was at this most recent Grammys. But I'm sure she was fitted out. I'll tell you that right now. I'm sure she looked very dapper. She looked fire, probably. Reading chat, reading chat. Okay, someone said Leve, covered Leve. I really liked the color of that one. It was super nice. And someone said Harry Styles. Ah. What? I keep just maybe if I click into one more picture, I'll get it. I'll go with this one. Let's go. I have to stop. I'm stun locked. I have to stop. Absolute. Oh my god. It's like dark wash. Y'all got me feeling like Tati Westbrook. Oh my god. And he wore it at the 2026 Grammys. Oh, I think this is a bad outfit. I won't lie to you. It's not even that I think there's anything wrong with any one thing that he's wearing. That's the weirdest thing about this outfit. Sparkly jacket, I'll take that any day. Some dark wash jeans, you could incorporate that for sure. And the shoes are actually really cool. But together, the silhouette of it is so odd. Nah. Sorry, I don't like it. Sorry, Harry. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I feel like, actually, this is my underrated opinion. I feel like Harry Styles has done a lot to degender fashion for men. And I'm quite grateful getting somebody. This has nothing to do with gender. I'm quite grateful to get somebody like him so visibly pissing off people for wearing dresses on a magazine. But I have simultaneously kind of always thought that I don't think many of his looks hit. This is one of my most unpopular opinions. I'm whispering right now. I'm kind of scared. I literally keep this opinion to myself because I don't want to sound like many people who are vocal against Harry Styles outfits are because they're like, honestly, they're just mad seeing a man wear interesting clothes. But I've always been in the sidelines like, no, I do want to see more men wearing fashion without a semblance of gender or expectations, but can they at least wear good outfits? And like, that's just an opinion. That's a personal opinion. If Harry Styles is your style icon, but it's like Harry Styles, who styled you? Where was the style? It's clearly not Harry Stylist, right? But no. Like, if he's your fave, this isn't me dissing you or your opinions at all. That's just always been me and my reaction to Mr. Styles. But thank you, Harry, for whatever this is. Okay. Anyone else I missed? I saw someone say Cat's Eye. We talked about Cat's Eye. Anybody else? Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga's outfit I really liked a lot. It was so Gaga. She looked like a murder of crows. Bruno Mars. Wait, Bruno Mars? Was he there? Why wasn't he in the thingy? Bruno Mars Grammys 2026. Images. Oh, come on. Okay, so I don't know if he was on the red carpet. And I love me some Bruno Mars. I really do. Like, I do. I don't want to sound like a hater or I just hate everything. But I'm just like, okay, hold on. Please work with me. Because sometimes I listen to myself and I'm like, bro, you are so annoying about things that people enjoy. Let people enjoy things. I actually enjoy Bruno Mars's new single. It's fire. And I don't even think all his music sounds the same. I don't believe that. I just feel like this new Bruno Mars era is so Bruno Mars coded that I'm having trouble connecting to it. It's like he is Bruno Marsing on a level that has never previously been Bruno'd. And I think he's finally out Bruno'd me, but he still looks fire. He still looks great. The music still sounds awesome. I don't know how to explain this. I sound stupid. Someone said Bad Bunny. I reacted to that fit. I really thought he looked clean. He looked hella clean. Someone said the back of Addison's dress was wild. How did you not review the back? I might get in trouble. I might get in trouble for this. For showing this. Let me just make sure that's not crazy or whatever. Addison Rae Grammys. Yeah, I don't know how much YouTube. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for this because, I mean, it's just legs. It's just legs. I will. No. YouTube is going to get pissy, man. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. All I will say is, how about you on your own go Google Addison Rae 2026 Grammy dress, and then you can come to your own conclusion. I just know they're gonna get mad. I know it. I feel it. FKA Twigs. Oh, I talked about Twigs. It's so fire. So like 2000s, like fairy wooded escape energy whimsical. Anybody else? SZA? Oh, why was SZA not in this article? Bro, whoever put that together, this Vanity Fair article. Wait, why am I dragging random people? Sorry, someone put a lot of work into this, but like SZA Grammys 2026. Maybe SZA was there and she just disappeared. Oh. It's so pretty. The dress. She looks really nice. I love it. I think that's a great look from SZA. Very like happy. I like happy. I think that's my one weird thing that has been surprising me lately. I've been really into sad, but lately I've been kind of into happy. Like I'm getting into that a little bit more. No, that's fire. That's great. Okay, thank you for telling me because that wasn't even in the article. Or maybe it was and I just skipped past it. Anybody else? Anybody else? Gaga stage outfit. Okay. Wait, I think I did see that. That was crazy. It was amazing, right? She had like a yeah. Dude. She looks like a Dark Souls boss or something. That's not even the full outfit. Hold on. Yes. Yes to all. Hold on. You can get a better version of it here. Yes. This is insane. This is unhinged. I love it. I'm not kidding. This is very much like Gaga, if you will. Someone said final boss. Yeah, you will not survive this encounter on the first try. You will not. That's how I felt when I looked at that. I was like, why do I hear boss music? All right. Anything else? Anything else? Someone said, have we done Rosé? I liked the ideas behind Rosé's fit. I didn't love how it all came together, unfortunately. Who else? Who else we got? I ain't seen nobody else. Zara Larsson stage outfit? Okay. Zara Larsson stage outfit. Oh, that's fun. Is it this right here? That's really pretty. Wait, is that actually the one though? Hold on. No, that was 2 months ago. Sorry, I'm lying. Let me just put Grammys and stop acting like a silly. 2026. Whoa! Nah, this is awesome. Oh, nah, that's fire. Hold on, wait. Why is Instagram acting ugly? Stop it. I love it. No. I love it. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. This is great. You see, I want everyone to look strange. I'm realizing that about me. I think you could look amazing with a great dress, or you could wear a great dress that is also super weird and probably 50% of people are going to hate it. And I'm like, that's the one that you need to wear. Y'all would hate me as a stylist because I would be in people's ear. I would be in people's ear. Here, let me show you something right now. Let me show you something right now. Zendaya, styling, never finna miss, right? Obviously. Zendaya has some great looks. I have never, ever seen a Zendaya look and been like, nah. But here's the thing though. If I was her stylist, I'd be whispering things like, Zendaya, you could probably get away with this. This is a good outfit and you look great in it, but I bet you could wear this bad outfit and still look good. That would be me as a stylist. I'd be like, oh, Zara, you look amazing in this dress. That's great. But what if you wore this really whack one and then everyone had to accept it because you're famous? I would be a very, very toxic stylist, just constantly pushing people to do the most insane things until eventually, let me show you my goal for the world, okay? I want everybody to look like Final Fantasy characters. I'm essentially going to just try to keep moving the needle until eventually we start dressing like this on the red carpet. I don't believe we're ever actually going to be free until we let go of our idea of good clothing. When I can say to Zendaya, I want you to wear like a sleeveless jacket over this like mini skirt number with a turtleneck and one, like, I feel like I see little sparks of this in the air. When I look at Zara Larsson exploding as a sun, I'm like, she's moving the needle a little bit closer. When I look at Lady Gaga looking like a final boss, I'm like, oh, we might be 10, 15 years off, but we're going to get there eventually. So I'm just in the background rubbing my hands together like a creepy fly. Why do flies rub their hands together? What are they doing? Why do flies rub their feet together? Flies don't have hands. Oh, they're just cleaning. Wait, that's the AI. Well, I don't know if Reddit is to be believed. I guess flies are just like cleaning. I wish I could clean my hands like that. I mean, I do with soap. Are we just flies if you really think about it? But yes, that's the goal. Push everybody into the worst outfits imaginable because you know they finna get away with it. Okay, well, anyways, I think that's everything I have to say about the Grammys. If I missed your... Hold on. We'll do one final sweep. I'm just going to go off of people who I know. Gustafsson, I know Reba McEntire. I'm sure she looked great. Ari Lennox, we got Black. Paris, we talked about. Brandy Carlisle, Noah. Okay, for example, what did Noah Khan wear? I'm curious. 2026 Grammys. No. See, this is why I'm not checking every person. I knew this is what he wore. I didn't even have to Google it. See what I mean? Hold on. Trevor Noah, I'm sure was doing the same thing. Jamie Foxx, if I'm wrong about this, you could correct me in the comments and be like, no, he wore something crazy. Jelly Roll, we talked about Heidi Klum a little bit. Youngblood, Ali Wong, John Batiste, Benson Boone. Wait, he does weird things, right? Benson Boone does like cartwheels and stuff. Or maybe I'm thinking of, I don't know who I'm thinking of. Benson Boone, Grammys 2026. Oh, nah, he played it so safe. No way. Benson, what is this? I don't want to open a link from Just Jared. Oh, wait, no, he tried to give a little bit with this transparent. Okay. No. Moving on. We've got Madison Beer. What does she do? Madison Beer Grammys 2026. See, again, I feel like I didn't have to Google this because what is the plot twist here? That Madison Beer looks nice. I don't know. Okay, Justin Vernon. Isn't that Bon Iver? He does red carpet events? I didn't actually know that. I don't think I've ever seen him wear like normal clothes. Wait. Is this not kind of cute? Chat, have I lost the plot? He looks like Grandma is going to do a photo shoot of you when you're 5, and she dresses you in this outfit with the little horses and the little tie, and she's like, okay, now stand there and look cute. That is kind of what this outfit is giving. That's so funny. What was the inspiration here? That is hilarious. Okay, that was great. Okay, Jack Antonoff, we talked about Halle Bailey, Queen Latifah, Coco Jones, Kaylani did not miss. She can't do that. Kesha, Leon Bridges. Yeah, okay. Oh, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. Sure, why not? Grammys 2026. Oh wait, I don't wanna. I just want the picture, bro. Open image, a new tab. Okay, so this isn't fair because they're sitting down, but like, nah. All right, I'm calling. Someone said John Batiste's shirt was different. How do I know you're not pranking me? Hold on, John Batiste 2026 Grammys. All right. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Wait. You kind of right. This is interesting. Why am I downloading this? I'm so inspired by this. I'm going to download it. It's like, yes, but that's my feeling on it. Yes, however, and I can't exactly put the rest of that into words yet because this is too new. I haven't. No. Someone says share 2026 Grammys. Let's see what we got. I mean, does Cher ever look bad though? Wait, this is interesting. Hold on a second. This is kind of cool. I like it. She's doing it. Wait, I'm gonna cry. She's dressing like a Final Fantasy character. Because there's this character from Final Fantasy X. There's this character from Final Fantasy X. We'll do the remaster. Oh, nah. Hold on. This is really strangely close. This is strangely close to Lulu's outfit from Final Fantasy X. This is as close as we're going to get on the red carpet. Where was that picture of Cher? I lost the plot. Oh, here she is. No, here she is. Oh my God. It's happening. The Final Fantasy-fication of the red carpet is upon us. None of you are ready. None of you are ready. Cher figured it out. Cher is dressing for the future. She was always quite future forward. She had that auto-tune popping off before it was even cool. I love that song. Do you believe in life after love? Whatever. I need auto-tune. But like, I'm seeing the vision here. You win best dressed of the night just because you were the closest to a Final Fantasy character. Cher, #1 outfit. We're done. We're done. Fab Morvan and Tyler the Creator. Fab Morvan. Grammys 2026. If I said their name wrong, I do apologize. From Milli Vanilli? Wait. The guy from Milli Vanilli still makes music? Hold on. Let's talk about the outfit first. This is beautiful. Actually, I genuinely love this. I'm being sad. Are those Doc Martens? No, this is amazing. I thought like Milli Vanilli like disappeared after what happened to them, which what happened to them was not cool at all. I didn't know bro was still kicking. Nonetheless, at the Grammys in 2026. Hold on, let me drink some water. This fit is fire. This fit is fire. I love it. Yeah, no, I'm rocking with this. Again. Now hold on. This is a reach. I'm warning you right now that I'm reaching. But if you were to look at a character from Final Fantasy 16, okay, his name is Clive. Don't come at me trying to tell me, D'Angelo, you're reaching. D'Angelo, you're reaching. I know that I'm reaching. But this is... Hold on. I know that I'm reaching. All I'm saying, notice how the closer you get to the color palette and overall silhouette of a Final Fantasy outfit, we're getting there. Someone said Tyler, the Creator. Let's do it. Tyler, the Creator 2026 Grammys. All right, let's go. Wait, what? Oh, is this it? No. Oh, do you mean like his like stage outfit? Here, it's not bad, but like he been dressing like this for like a year. Oh, he had both of these. Hold on. Someone on Instagram has us set up. Obviously, the looks worn by Tyler the Creator at the Grammys. So it's this one. My issue is that he has been dressing like this for like a solid almost 2 years, year and a half. So it's like fine. And he looks cool, but I'm like, nah, I done been saw the chromacopia vibe and the don't tap the glass vibe. But like, it makes sense. Obviously, if you're still inside an album era, you want to give people that album era. But nah. But he still looks good. All right. Someone said that's just his chromacopia fit. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. I was Googling it like, oh, Tyler. And then I'm like, oh, this is literally just chromacopia. But like, it makes sense. All right. Justin's stage outfit. We're going to end it there because I can't. That's the last one. Justin Bieber 2026 Grammy stage outfit. So Justin decided to wear nothing, which I will say he did sound good though. But like, Justin, I get it. I understand. We're like stripped back. You're a father now. You know, I do understand. But I'm like, brother, maybe there were some other ways of like conveying this idea of just being stripped back, or I don't have anything to say about that. Someone said not the sock. It is the socks for me, actually. Like, not the socks, actually. And on that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap my 2026 Grammys review. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. I don't know if I'm going to turn that into a video. Probably not. It was just fun. I'll watch it back later and see if it hit. If I can make it make sense, if I can take my Final Fantasy point and like thread it through the video well enough and make it sound good, we'll do it. But if not, hey, stream exclusive content, baby. Reading chat. Someone said, right, but if a woman or gender non-conforming person did that, they would never hear the end of it. I think Justin Bieber's outfit's a great example of how boring some people are allowed to be. That's all I had to say about that. All right. No, don't say bye. You're saying bye. I'm not ending the stream. Don't leave. I'm not ending the stream for another 10 minutes. Yeah, no. I don't clock out early unless I want to. If I want to clock out early, I will. No, don't leave. We're still here. What are we finna do for 10 minutes? Let's go. Someone said I missed the Chapel Run one. Please do a video. Just go Google it. And then I'll give you my actual opinion on the Chapel Roan one. Chapel Roan Grammys 2026. Go Google that and return. Dude, it was so dope. I think the thing is, for me personally, I feel like it's really hard to be surprising. I think that's why her outfit was so cool, because I first saw it and I was like, whoa, this is like crazy. It was just wild. And then it wasn't even just the front too. On the back, she had like this matching sort of tapestry with like lions. There was lions there. Dude, it was wild. So much work clearly put into it. And from what I understand, it was like a sort of redo of an existing runway fit. But yeah, I was like, whoa, that's a red carpet look. Someone said so fresh. It was quite fresh, for real, for real. Did you see Iron Lung? Chat, I've been snowed in, unfortunately. The roads here have just been really, really icy. It's been nasty. I wanted to go see Iron Lung, but I've just been deciding not to like drive or go out, or I don't know. I've become a homebody again. But yeah, it's not it. It's not it. Someone says speak your truth on Iron Lung. I can't yet. I can't. Well, listen, I feel like my truth on Iron Lung is probably not gonna be like a unpopular opinion. I feel like at most it would just be like a good movie that might have some minor nitpicks because it's Markiplier's first feature film. But I feel like it's clearly not a bad movie. I don't think I've seen anybody say, "Oh, like Iron Lung was like trash." That's what I'm expecting going into Iron Lung, and you can reset my expectations. I'm gonna go into it wanting to watch a slow burn, slightly confusing horror flick that has a lot of really cool things going for it visually, may have some growing pains, and have a fun time. I'm not going to come into this being like, okay, I expect that Markiplier for his first feature film has made a sequel to The Godfather, a movie that I've never watched. Someone said, did you see Marty Supreme? No. I don't understand what Marty Supreme is about, but I should watch it at some point. Yeah. Someone said, did you like the Netflix show Sirens? Someone asked if I stream on Twitch. No, but I should. I had mixed feelings on Sirens. Did anyone here watch Sirens on Netflix? That I feel like no one talks about Sirens. I liked some aspects of it for sure. I'll give you a rundown. Basically, it's a really short show. I think I binge watched it all in one go. It's like these two sisters, right? And the younger one is very, very like social mobility upwards. She like has a job as the assistant to like this super rich woman and is very together. And the other daughter is like a mess, hot mess, right? And so when their dad is kind of going through some trouble, unfortunately, they have like a bunch of clashes, bunch of back and forth of just how differently they're handling or not handling this scenario. And there's a lot of subversion in the show. It's very much about like relationships and men and women, etc. I liked when the show would get a little weird. There were some elements to it that I would describe as soft magical realism. It was going off. I guess I didn't super love the ending of Sirens. And so that's why I'm not like, oh my God, that was the most amazing show ever. Parts of it felt very frustrating to watch. I felt like parts of it maybe could have cooked for longer, but I was entertained, bro. Someone said I expected fantasy. I expected fantasy as well. I did. I expected full-blown mermaids eating people vibes. Not that all sirens eat people. I don't actually know the lore there, but I was expecting crazy stuff, and that was on me. That was on me. Instead, I got mildly hypnosis-esque adjacent vibes. And I was like, okay, but they could have gone harder. What was the last movie you saw? I think it was still 100 Meters on Netflix. I don't think I watched a movie since then. Super good. Super good. Has anyone here watched Insatiable? Has anyone here watched Insatiable? Someone said with that name. Exactly. If you name a show Sirens, you better be giving. No, okay. That show is wild. I think Insatiable has some issues for sure. You know how people talk about like, oh, I want morally gray characters. I want morally gray characters. Or they're even like, I want to follow like anti-heroes or whatever. Some said Debbie Ryan. Yes, with Debbie Ryan. Insatiable really tests your patience for how bad of a person you're willing to follow. It was one of the only shows that has actually like shocked me in terms of like, there's no way the main character just did that. I was in awe. If I have to give a summary of that, essentially Debbie Ryan's character, from what I remember, gets her jaw wired shut due to an accident, and because of this loses a bunch of weight, and then now looks like Debbie Ryan, aka Hollywood material, right? You might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't like that premise, because like, just because you turn skinny or whatever, you're gonna, that's like not automatically gonna make you a better person. That's kind of the thesis. That's kind of exactly what the show does. It starts really basic where you're like, I've seen this before. Some weird thing happens and the girl just turns into everybody's dream. No. By essentially getting the social capital of being conventionally attractive, she then uses that to be the worst person and do some of the worst things you ever seen anybody do in a show. It's wild. No, Insatiable's crazy. It's crazy. Someone said I wasn't aware Debbie Ryan has done anything since Radio Rebel. Well, let me tell you this. She killed that role. Debbie Ryan killed, what is her name in that show? Insatiable. I forget her name. But no, I watched it years ago. I think there was only 2 seasons. No, I can't even recommend it to everybody though, because it's a very hokey show. It's very campy. It's about pageants and there's a bunch of triggering stuff in there. Someone said that's such a faulty plot. No, trust me when I tell you, it's a pretty trashy show. It's not making, if it's trying to make a point, it gets lost for me personally among just the insanity of it. And by season 2, I was like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. But I was riveted. I'll tell you that right now. Anyways, with that being said, chat, I guess I'll dip. I had a good time. Can I say like thank you, Ryan Murphy, if he ate? I thought Insatiable was a Ryan Murphy show, honestly, until I had looked it up and I was like, wait, this isn't his vibe? Listen, or maybe I'm wrong. I have to look back into it. Someone said it sounds like Car Crash. It was. I am grateful to all of you. Why am I praying? Who are we praying to? I'm grateful to all of you. Like, I know creators do. They do the thing where it's like, chat, the thing is real. The thing is real. I'm apologizing in advance. This is going to be the most parasocial thing I've ever said to you. Yes, this is a parasocial relationship, but it is still a relationship. I am so grateful just to be able to, I don't know. This is the only reason I don't hate YouTube. Actually, I don't like the attention economy in general. I don't like the constant back and forth of it all. I don't like tracking my numbers. I can't track my numbers anymore. I don't know how many people are watching the stream. I have to disable it. I don't like comparing every single video I made to every single other video I make. I don't open YouTube Studio like that anymore. I can't do it. I think the only thing I actually get joy from, and the only thing I've been focusing on, is honestly just the idea that people are enjoying their time with the content. That's really it. So earlier this morning when I woke up and I was like, this has been an awful weekend. And the worst people have been all over my content, just trying to say the worst things about me. I was like, when I started catastrophizing and envisioning this as the worst possible outcome, I reminded myself, like, it's not the worst possible outcome, because the vast majority of people are honestly here for a good time, or as good a time as we can have. So this stream was a good time, and it's really important to be able to have still a good time on the internet, no matter how serious or bad or, dare I say, hateful things become. So Thank you. Thank you. I'm leaving now. I'm leaving now before it gets weird.